Live streaming is on.
Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building, flying, model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, show and tells, and also we like to know about what you did in your shop or what you did at the flying field lately. Now, to join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com. You must place a space between your real first and last name. You also must have a valid email address or Sparky will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just want to watch us on YouTube, please enter your questions and comments in the chat box. I will do my best to make your comments part of the show. Now, if you find that Stunthangar videos and the many building videos that Sparky does on this platform informative and enjoyable, please like, subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the bell, the notification bell, so you'll get notifications when we start these videos, and when Sparky does those building videos, you'll know. And then share these videos. That helps the channel grow. And please consider joining our YouTube channel membership starting at $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. With your membership, you get special badges, members-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, you can also use the super chat, which is located at the bottom of the chat box on the YouTube side, to make donations. I want to thank you for your past, present, and future support. Please keep your conversations on this meeting tonight family room friendly. In other words, please don't use any words you wouldn't say around your children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, let me post the link at Stunthangar now. It is posted. All right, so shortly I hope to have some guests and my regular friends come and join us here. That'd be great. Now, while I'm waiting for someone to come on in, providing I did everything right, I started this week. I had a plane that I purchased a while ago. It's a Chipmunk, but it's not the kit build. It's a scratch-built Chipmunk. And so I installed a OS Max S35 because it's a really light plane. I haven't weighed it yet, but it feels like it's in the mid 30 ounces. Super light plane. So I went out Wednesday and started flying it. And, you know, with a new plane, you want to feel it out. Had to take care of a few little minor issues, but the plane shows a lot of promise. And I went flying today, did a little bit more. I went inverted and did some loops. Had some guests this time, so they could actually look at the wing and see if it was flying level or not. And for what I hear, now mind you, it has an upright motor, which is unique. I've never seen a Chipmunk with an upright motor, but I suspect the vertical CG might have been affected by the fact that the motor is upright. So I'm going to check the vertical CG and see if that is what's happening, because what I've been told is that when I'm flying level and upright, the outboard wingtip is down, which I could see that a little bit. And then when I go inverted, it's just a little bit up, which sounds like a warp, right? But it could also be the CG is a little off. So I'm going to verify the vertical CG, because I might need to add heavier wheels. Hey, Peter.
Hey, hello.
Hello. I was just talking about my experience this week with, I'm putting in service a new airplane. It's a Chipmunk, but it's a scratch-built Chipmunk. And it has an upright engine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's a little different. I've never had an upright engine, and kind of I'm enjoying it. I'm looking forward to getting this thing trimmed out. What you been up to?
Um, stuff around the house, actually.
I know that gets in the way sometimes, but it has to be done, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me get the chat box up. Pop that out so I can see what's going on.
Um,
Hey, Gary. Gary Sinclair's on the chat box. Hey, Tom. How's it going?
hey,
Hi,
Tom.
Charles. Uh-oh. Do I have an echo?
No, don't hear an echo.
Oh.
I don't hear an echo. But don't create one.
I must be just hearing things, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe you're just ahead of us, and you're just vibrating at a higher frequency. What you been up to?
Well, I got my the robot arm working on my marble thing, so it picks up the steel marble and puts it on the upper track, and with the robot arm. So
Oh,
that's all
fantastic!
working. I had trouble with the electromagnet because it was drawing too much current and making the power spike crowbar. So I had to rewind the magnet with smaller gauge wire and more feet of wire to get the resistance up a little bit. But it's working now, so
Very good, very good. In fact, on my home page when I went to YouTube, the video of your grandson came up on my homepage. I was really surprised to see it. That was cool. I mean, I had already seen it before, but your feed line, your feed videos that when you go to your homepage,
right.
I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I'm doing a new video that shows all the how to build it, and a lot of stuff that I had to go through to get it to work. So, but that won't be posted until I'll probably upload it tonight or something. But anyway, that project's done. It's been kind of a lot of difficult hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, I bet having to change the resistance, that's kind of problematic.
And I couldn't just add a resistor in series because the wattage is too high for just adding a resistor. So I ended up just rewinding the whole thing. I actually had to use 200 feet of wire.
Wow.
The resistor would have been that big around.
Yeah.
Bigger than the motor.
Would have been a high wattage resistor. I did have to change one of the servos in the robot arm, because by the time I added all that wire and then plus the weight of a 1-inch steel ball, it got too heavy for the arm to lift. So I had to put a bigger servo in there too.
So, John, what you been up to, John?
Well, I've been playing around with my radio stuff, and I've been playing with the computer here all day. I just went over to I'm so angry at Google for crap stuff, that I changed over to Firefox. So I've been changing everything over, getting all my stuff over here on Firefox. Seems to be working okay here.
Oh, good.
Oh, I'm on it right now. So
that's good. I didn't know Firefox works with the 8x8. That's great.
Apparently it does so far. And so, yeah. And so basically that's what I've been doing, just taking life easy. We had snow here, like I said the other day, but it's been cool here, cold at night, down into the 20s a couple of times, but it's going to warm up here towards the middle of next week. It should be up in the 60s, low 60s or high 50s, which is just fine for us in this area. Sure, Tom is looking forward to colder than that. I've lived over there by where Tom is. I know what it's like.
It was 13 this morning.
The lake
Wow.
frozen yet?
No, not yet. It's a 600 acres and 50 feet deep, so it takes a while.
Yeah. Not even at the edges? It isn't starting out a little bit at the edges?
No, the
Wow.
edges aren't even frozen yet.
Wow. So anyway, that's what I've been doing, Charles. Haven't done anything on any airplanes or any design work. Nothing. I did get the 4 sheets on the basic design, on the ratios. I did get that posted, and the corrected version posted over on at my vendor's corner, CAD Classics. So it's there, and it's a PDF file in case anybody wants it, or they can download it there.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. And so now I've got to figure out what I'm going to do next in that line. Probably go through and do a better presentation, a more complete presentation on the corrected controls.
Okay, hi guys. So I'm.
Was that?
Sorry.
Oh.
That was my fault.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah.
getting ready to think, I'm thinking about working on the other ratios, like the numbers on a stunt ship and tail volume and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. I have a rough time with tail volume, but Brent Williams knows real good about it. So I might give him a call. I got to talk to him anyway. He wanted me to do a very simple project for him, basically redrawing something he drew in a drawing program that didn't give him a very when it comes to circles, it was all pixelated. He couldn't get rid of pixelation on the lines, and he couldn't send it over to the laser cutter that way. And he sent me a DXF file. Now, Tom, you worked a little bit with this, so my CAD program, the draft site will not accept his DXF file. I've tried and tried and tried. It will not do it. And there's no dimensions on there. It was so simple. I could have just redrawn the whole thing if I had any dimensions to draw to. So, because I was just, basically what I wanted to do was a trace over it. And it was like 2 circles in a rectangle, arranged, it was a jig is what it was. So anyway, you got any ideas, Tom?
Was it in AutoCAD?
No, it was in some drawing program. He told me what it was, and I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
But
yeah, there are some. I'm basically familiar with AutoCAD, and with AutoCAD, you can save it as DXF in different versions of AutoCAD's DXF program. So I know there are some differences between the DXF files depending on what version of AutoCAD you use.
I hadn't tried that because DraftSite uses AutoCAD 2018, and I could go back to an earlier. I could try to import it into an earlier version. I can easily do that.
Yeah, you might give that a try and just see if that helps. That's the only suggestion I have right now.
Yeah, I'll try that because either that or, I'm going to have to call him. It took me a while to get to it. I had a lot of things going here. And when I went to get to it, it ain't going to work. So, yeah, either that, if I can't get it to work, I'm just having to call him and either, I wouldn't be surprised if he figured another workaround on it by now, but if he hasn't and he still needs it, if he just get me the dimensions, I could redraw. It's so simple, I could redraw it easily, and then get him what he wants. He's a good guy, have you noticed on his postings on the forum, he and his brother are working. It looks like they're going to try to go into production on making pipe headers for the VF engines.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and his one brother's a machinist, and he's already machined the plate, that goes on the back of the engine that bolts to the engine. Then they've got the pipe, that they've sourced the pipe and that, and they're asking about the brazing, the aluminum brazing systems, and they looks like they've settled on something, and they're going to start doing some practice. If it works out, if it's successful, they'll probably start making a few of these header pipes.
Great. I could use a header myself on my K77.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I know Pete there needs a header pipe for his VF.
I'm good. I've got one.
Oh, okay. I've got one for mine, and Tom runs electric, so he don't need a header pipe.
I'm about half, but nothing. I mean, nothing that I need a header for right now. So
yeah. So what have you been doing, Charles? How's the precious balsa coming along?
Actually, I need to get back on it, but oh, hang on a second. Let me see. I got some traffic a little bit on the chat box. So Gary said hello earlier, and then Jeff Riley says hi. And then Gerald Wimmer, he says, hello, Charles, and all those on Stunthangar. Good to hear about your chipmunk. I was just about to tell you, John, about that. And Charles, would be nice to see it. Have you posted a new YouTube video of it yet? Not yet, Gerald. I don't have a spinner on it, and I'm kind of shy to show pictures of it because it is a pretty plane, but it'd be even prettier with a spinner. And so I have a picture on my phone. I might be able to show that. But so getting back to you, John, this week I started to fly this new plane. It was already scratch built and finished, and I installed an OS Max S35 on there, and I put a 10.6 rev up prop on it, and took it out to the flying field, and it flies pretty good. I'm still kind of feeling it out. According to my witnesses today, they said the outboard wingtip's a little bit up when I'm flying upright and level, and then when I go inverted, they said that when I'm flying upright, I misspoke. When I'm flying upright and level, the wingtip, the outboard wingtip is down, and then when I'm inverted, it's a little bit up, which sounds like a warp, right?
Yeah, because if it was excess tip weight, it would be down on both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say you need to tweak your flaps.
Yeah, but I was thinking it could also be, this is unique in that it has an upright engine, kind of like a T-Bird or Smoothie, and I'm wondering if this vertical CG is off, and because the crankcase is up high, it's pushing the outboard tip down when I'm flying upright, and then when I'm inverted, it's like raising it up. So I was going to.
Yeah, it very well could be. Is the wing mounted down lower in the fuselage? It's not an inline design, is it?
I didn't get all of your question. What did you say, John?
It's not an inline design, is it? The wing is down lower in the fuselage.
Yeah, I think it's stock. I think it's pretty much stock, but the engine is upright as opposed to being inverted.
Yeah, it could be vertical CG, but let's see. Yeah, it could be vertical CG. In that case, unless you want to try to raise your lead outs, there's not much you can do other than tweak your flaps and try to do an aerodynamic fix.
Well, I was thinking about putting heavier wheels.
What's it weigh?
I haven't weighed it yet, but it feels like it's in the no more than 35 ounces. I mean, it's really light.
Oh, it's a shame to mess up a nice light 35 size stunner by adding those heavy wheels.
Well, I'll just go gradually. I won't go put those banner wheels on it, but I'll just put something a little bit heavier than what I have right now. Or I could even put a little bit of weight on the axle. It doesn't have to be the wheels. Just get some weight down below to ballast the crankcase weight.
Has it got fairings on the wired landing gear?
Yes.
You could probably stick some clay on there.
Yeah.
Down low.
Hey,
Hi, Bill.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Yeah, you can probably fix some clay down in there, and that way you could then, if it does work, you can take the clay off and weigh it to see exactly how much lead you got to put on, so you don't put on any more than you have to have.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Just do it with lead. With clay, and I can see if it makes a difference, and then keep trying a little bit more and more, and then when I get it right, then I'll know what I can weigh it and see how much weight I need to add.
You could probably live with an aerodynamic tweak, also tweaking the flaps. You could probably live with that. It may affect certain areas, but I don't think it'd be that bad. And that's why it's not a good idea to take a plane that's designed for an inverted engine and turn around and make it an upright, because you do mess up the vertical CG. So yeah, but hey, have fun. How you doing, Ed?
Hey,
have fun with it.
Yeah, I'm actually having, it's a blast because it's a light plane, and I'm a little bit hesitant to tweak the flaps because this is not my first plane by this builder, and he builds these planes so light they're kind of delicate, as a matter of fact. So I'm actually a little bit apprehensive to even tweak the flap, and he makes his own flap as well. And so I'm just a little bit apprehensive to do any tweaking. Hopefully I can just do it with some a little bit of weight on the landing gear. I don't know if you caught what I was talking about, Phil. I have a new Chipmunk, and it has an upright motor instead of inverted. And
that's different.
Yeah, it's kind of neat looking. I've always wanted a Chipmunk, and
a super Chipmunk or regular Chipmunk.
I really think the builder of this plane probably just built it from scratch, and he might not even use plans. He might have just I need to ask him, did he build it from the plans, but I really think he just kind of I'm going to build it. Yeah, just scratch built it. He might have thought
wrong with that.
Yeah, it's really light, and it flies really nice. I'm pretty excited. I flew it Wednesday and I flew it today. I only have about 4 flights on it, but hopefully next week I'll be able to ring it out some more. I need to make a larger fuel tank. Right now, when I flew it, I only had like a 4.5 minute flight time with a full tank. So I'm gonna make a tank because it's a unique size compartment. So I got my work cut out for me.
What size tank you got in it now?
Like 4
I don't know what the size is. It's you remember when the Nobler R first came out and it had that metal tank in there? Anybody of you familiar with that Nobler R, the very first generation?
Yeah.
Anyways, I took that fuel tank because it fit, and I put it in there. And it's the same tank that's on the top flight plans, where it's kind of toward the back of the tank. It's crimped down to a point, but in the front of it's rectangle.
Well, that should be a 4-ounce tank.
That's a 4-ounce tank, or it was, and they replaced it with that round plastic one.
Right. So I had put the first one in, and if it's 4 ounces, I only got like 4.5 minute flight. and I filled it up.
What motor is it?
It's a OS Max S35.
Is it an F35 S35S?
35S.
Yeah, that should be
Yeah,
best.
that thing should, on 4 ounces, should give you 7 minutes.
Yeah,
Maybe
it should. It should. That's odd. That's an odd
Yeah,
one.
it is.
I've never had an OS that drank not an OS 35S anyway that drank that kind of fuel. But I mean, somebody could have changed the vent in it or something. But I'm betting the tank didn't get all the way full for whatever reason. I don't know. Good. Keep playing with it. It's worth fooling with.
Maybe I'll drop the tail and see if I can get more fuel in there.
That wouldn't hurt.
What's the size of the venturi opening on it?
You know what? I wrote it down, but it's not with me.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Well, I don't remember exactly what it is, but I know that an FP up here at this altitude, we run about 185 thousandths opening.
Wow. Well, yeah, you're getting that thin air.
Right. And so, it's got a 35S, I would say, would be a lot less than that 185.
I can't remember what they had. Shucks. Feel
As a matter of fact, I ordered some Venturis from Jim Lee.
Yeah.
And I think he said on his catalog there were 280,000.
Yeah, that's probably about right. It's 165 to 265 is the range usually.
Okay.
I don't know. That's odd. That's a lot
I
of
don't
fuel
know
for an OS35S.
Either way, I'll make a bigger tank. The tank I have is not big enough unless, like I said, it's just not getting full, laying on its wheels.
Yeah, what percent nitro are you running?
I ran 10% nitro, 22% oil, half and half synthetic, half cast.
Same thing I run.
Motor ran sweet. I mean, the motor actually is a sweetheart of a motor, and
they are.
I'm so glad to finally own one. I've actually the very first time I flew a plane with a OS Max S35 was at Brodax in 2016.
Wow, you've been neglected.
Yeah, I flew there in the plane, but I didn't have a plane. And my roommate, John Wright, I don't know if you know John Wright, but...
Yeah, I know John. Everybody knows John.
He flies a Messerschmitt. Huh? He flies a Messerschmitt.
Yes. So anyways, he had brought that plane, and he also brought a Tudor, the Tudor 1, the original one. And so he let me fly that. And mind you, my first flight was with that plane was an official flight at Brodax.
Oh, good grief.
I had no idea what to expect. From the time John let go of the plane, it rolled out, and I was like, let's see what happens.
And you're gutsy. I'll give you that. You're gutsy.
and to add excitement to it, so I'm trying to get the safety song on. The engine's running, right? I think it's running, yeah. I go out to the center of the circle to grab the handle, and, I have these mittens, right? And John Wright is
John's got some little hands.
So I'm trying to get the mitten on. I mean the thong on, and this is all stressing me out, of course, right?
Oh.
So first flight, official flight, can't get my hand in the thong, and I think it was Will Davis came out to see what was going on. He was watching, and he came out, and he goes, "What's going on?" I can't get my hand in the thong, and so I finally get it on, and it was exciting. But
then you got to get rid of Will.
Again?
Then you got to get Will out of the circle. Lord, I'm telling
you. But the engine run was so sweet. I was like, wow, that is
they are.
Engine.
They are. Hey, I'll tell you.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Yes.
On the y'all was talking about the Venturis. Is there a difference in the spray bar on a through Venturi or a sprinkler type? Or is the only difference is the is there an opening in the Venturi, like for the G21 or G51 Super Tiger has the pinch bolt where the spray bar goes through,
Well, on
versus
Super,
like a LA46, it has the through spray bar.
if you go from a Super Tiger 60 and you got the original spray bar, like what you're talking about, I call it a dripper because it has to come out the side of the Venturi and come down.
Yeah, like a sprinkler is what.
Yeah, a sprinkler. And you center punch the case and drill through the Venturi and use a through Venturi like what you're talking about. You have to enlarge the Venturi or you'll starve the motor.
Yep.
Because the holes are much smaller when it's a sprinkler type than it is when it's a spray bar type.
Okay.
But the spray bar types, I think, breathe better.
You got that backwards. The hole smaller, the relative hole smaller with the through spray needle valve.
Well, relative hole is, yes.
Yeah. And so you got to make the hole bigger with the through one than with the sprinkler one.
Yeah.
You know.
But if I call Jim Lee and tell him what I've got, he can set me up with whatever I need, right?
Jim knows what you need.
Okay. And also,
but you better tell him you want a through. You got to tell him what you want, because I just made that mistake. I got a Venturi in a couple of weeks ago, and I'm not going to send it back to him. I'm just going I'll use it on a profile or something. But I ran into an interesting problem. I built an airplane that in order to get it to draw fuel with a Tiger 60, I've got to have it drilled through style so I can get it down that other 1/8 of an inch. So it's just different things. You know, there's different reasons to do it, but I built a humongous.
So you're saying with the Super Tiger, of course, my case, the 51.
Yeah.
I use the same pinch bolt to hold the Venturi in, and then drill through the Venturi.
No. If you use a through Venturi, just take you some JB weld, and if you drill that case to put it through the Venturi, use some JB weld and plug that other hole up, because if you don't, it'll bleed through there, bleed air through there, and you'll never get a consistent needle valve. I had one of our local guys. He flew long enough. He should have known better, but he went with a through system. He drilled it like Tommy and I fly, and he could not get a consistent needle valve. And we couldn't figure out, Bill, why are you adjusting that needle valve every flight? I haven't touched my needle in weeks. And he says it changes. It changes. So Tommy and I finally saw what he was doing, and I don't know who went to get this stuff, but we put some clay in the sides of his. Hey, here he is. There's Bart. We put some clay in the side of the vent, and we knew it wouldn't last because clay, the fuel would eat it up. But it did not leak long enough that he did get 2 flights out of it that was consistent. He swore up and down. That's the first 2 flights he'd had in 3 months that he didn't have to touch a needle. So we went home and cleaned that out and put JB weld in there, and he never had a needle problem again.
Okay, so you're actually drilling through the casing through the Venturi,
right through the center,
as if it was a regular through.
Yeah, if you look at the molding, the casting, you'll see the Venturi's here and the needle valve's back here.
Right.
There's a casting that comes down. You can see the line that comes down right where it was. If you took the center of that casting where it goes through the Venturi, right there, drill a hole in that, right there in the center of that. And that's where it goes. It's about an 1/8 of an inch further down, maybe not quite that much, than the stock one. But that's where you drill it. And just he'll send you a vent that's already cut for that, and just take it and measure it and make sure you get it in the right place. Drill a smaller hole first, and then size it up, and then drill the bigger hole. But be sure you either send it to him and let Jim do it so you don't get any of the crap in the tank, or be sure and stuff some cotton or something down in that motor good. Put the crank where it's not open, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Where it's not open, and then stuff some cotton down in there before you drill it, so that you don't get metal filings down in your motor, because it don't take many metal filings to ruin it.
Right. Okay. Because I wasn't sure. I've never had a Super Tiger. I've never. This is the these are the first engines I've had that have been is going to be converted from RC to control line, because all my other stuff is vintage McCoy redheads, greenhead 35 torpedoes, and Fox 35s. That's all I've ever run is dedicated control line engines. So I've never converted one, so I didn't know.
Well, Super Tiger's a fine motor. I mean, they've won more worlds than probably any motor out there. But
yeah, like I said, I got 3 of them now. I've got a 46, the 51, and I've got 2 51s. One of them's a G and one of them's a V.
I don't know what the G is. The V is the latest, the one that we're used to. But all I can tell you about a Super Tiger 51, I hope you got one of the ones made in Italy, because
They're all 3 of them are made in Italy.
Okay, you got a chance then. The rings on the Chinese made ones just don't last, and you can't. If there's a good ring out there right now, I can't find it. I bet I've gone through a dozen rings in the last 2 years. I can't find. They'll last about 200 flights, and then I don't mean they nose over. They just die.
Well, I tell you right now, 200 flights will last me till I'm dead.
Oh Lord!
Hey, Bowman.
200 flights will last me about 2.5 months. About 2 months.
Nah.
So on Stunthangar right now, somebody was asking about where you can get rings, and somebody came up with a to a fellow in Great Britain who is making rings and is very well thought of. He apparently does an excellent job. So you might want to check over there if you need a ring. It might be worth looking into.
Check where?
Okay, another thing for you. Bowman used to do them. He retired, but he trained a young man who does them, and he should be on the site here someplace. Bowman's ring.
Yeah, they mentioned him as well.
Yeah. He'd probably be a lot faster, and I understand he does a really good job, so might try that.
Well, I got some rings from Bowman before he retired, and they held up real well, but or have so far. But the last ones that I got, and they didn't last any time. About 200 flights. I was just getting where I thought I could count on it, and it just quit. Just died.
Bowman rings?
No. Whoever took his place.
Oh.
Bowman retired, and he trained a guy. He trained a young man to do that, and I understood he was doing a really good job with him. So,
well, I don't know. This may not have been one of his rings, because when I got it from Bill, and I asked him to order me a Bowman ring, or whoever was doing it now, and he got me the ring, but all I got was the ring. I didn't get a package or anything. I don't know whose ring it was, but it was too soft. It just didn't last. I knew when I put it on there, this went on much too easy. And it didn't last. But I put one on a Merco that's got 2 rings on it, and I took one of the old rings and left it in the bottom one and just changed the top ring. I've been flying that thing now 5 years. It's probably got 350, 400 flights on it, and I know that don't sound like a lot for 3 or 4 years, but it's in an old timer that I don't fly very much.
Yeah, it's really important to use the right fuel and keep it clean, keep the caster.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I do all that. That's in fact, I've still got 2-3 gallons of castor oil that I got from I'm having one of those senior moments. Doug Taffiner, before he retired, sold me some good castor, some of the good stuff, and I'm hanging on to that. Some of the local guys are upset with me because I won't let them
don't
have
leave
it.
it where I can find it.
Yeah, really. I know, but I've got that. Don't leave it in the plastic jugs either; it'll leak through.
Yeah.
Some of these plastic jugs are awful.
Hey guys.
Howdy.
Hey guys.
I get the metal cans and transfer everything over and then put labels on what's really in there. Because some of them say Fox fuel and some of them say other things, and I don't want to change the can. I don't want to ruin my old cans, but I put a tag on it as to what's really in it.
Yeah, just clean them out really good. And we get fuel in plastic jugs here, and I've got leaks all over the place there.
Oh, me too. I put them in a cabinet downstairs. I thought I'll keep them out of the sunlight, keep them cool.
Absolutely.
I opened the cabinet to get a gallon of fuel, and there's a puddle. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That's a mess. That's a mess.
You talking about just out of the regular, the factory jugs?
Yeah, SIG was the worst for about
a year. You got to fly enough to use it all so it doesn't leak.
Yeah. I need to fly more. That's what it is. That's the problem. Well, I got a new plane. I got a brand new plane now that I'm flying and having a ball with, but it's electric. Only use it to drop once in a while.
Yeah, they're economical on fuel, I'll tell you.
I mean that.
You don't need caster with them either.
No, but I got yeah, but the problem is my fuel burner that I'm flying now is that Max B with the Stalker 76. Hey, guess what? It don't use caster. So
yeah.
That's right.
What am I getting myself into here?
They don't use caster.
Don't you?
No.
Don't need nitro either.
No nitro and
no caster.
18% full synthetic. They run like a top. Crank first flip.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, synthetic
they're amazing.
Stuff too.
They're amazing. It's a good running motor. All I've got is a 76, but I can see a 40 in my future. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, they're good motors. I like them.
Where would you find stuff to make your own fuel?
Well, believe it or not, around here we have a lot of go-karts. We have a lot of go-kart racing in my area. And you can go to any of the go-kart dealerships. There's 4 of them I counted the other day. And I went
buy the methyl hydrate.
Yeah, buy the alcohol in a 5-gallon container for $25.
Right.
For $25. Awesome. And then buy I got a gallon of Klotz and just mix it yourself.
Where do you get nitro?
You don't need any. No nitro.
Not only for me.
Not for the stalkers, but
I
don't have stalker. I mean,
who's posting this aviation blast from the past? Who's doing that? Please don't do that.
That's me.
Okay, I need it blocked the other guys automatically when they're talking.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Hang on a second, Tom.
Ed, the nitro you can pick up at. Find out where the local. If you'll go to a drag strip and ask any of the drag racers, where do you get your fuel? And then just go there because they mix for the drag. They sell nitro, they sell them the oil. That's where they buy their alcohol too. It's all available. You just have to think about it a little bit. But all the stuff, even igniters, the special igniters, everybody says, "Oh, this is special stuff." No, you can get it all. It's all over the counter stuff.
The castor oil, is that just regular castor oil, or is it designed for?
It's you got to buy the high grade stuff because the low grade stuff has moisture in it, and moisture and aluminum.
What we drank as kids.
You will destroy an aluminum motor putting moisture through it.
Yeah.
Back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, everybody was doing water injection, and they thought that's the way to raise the octane level in your car. And you run the timing up and put water injection in it. That's just like using aircraft grade fuel, higher octane.
Right.
Well, it's great if you got a cast iron engine and a cast iron head, but if you got an aluminum head or an aluminum block, you'll burn a hole right through it putting water in it.
Wow.
Doesn't work.
Okay.
I got my last bit of caster from SIG.
Yeah.
Wasn't cheap.
Well, I know Rodak sells it, but he sells it by the quart.
Yep. That's all you need.
I bet they're expensive.
Yeah, I forgot what it was a quart, but I don't know. There's a hobby shop about an hour from me, and
I'll be back.
Sell pure caster.
You're getting feedback.
Yeah.
Somebody, we're getting echo somewhere.
Testing 1 2 3. 1 2 3.
Everybody's getting it.
Hang on a second.
It's all gone south.
What's that background noise?
No, somebody's lost the echo though.
I think somebody's busy in the shop.
Sound like someone doing dishes.
Yeah,
It might be trying.
Yeah, it might be trying.
But the shop, I don't know if they have any fuel that has pure caster. I think theirs is half and half. But see, those older engines won't run long with the synthetic in it.
That's right.
Well, yeah, you know, like in a Fox, you may want to only run 5% synthetic. That just helps keep it cleaner and reduces the decoking episodes. But I don't think you'd want to go any more than that.
Yeah, most of my stuff I'd run just 10% and straight caster, 25, something like that. I can't remember what all it was, but
anywhere from 25 to 29. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're running Foxes and McCoys. They've got to have caster.
Yeah. Yeah. All my stuff is ancient.
Yeah. But a modern, like an OS Max, say a 46.
Yeah.
You can run 50-50. You can actually run probably even a little more synthetic than that caster, but you'd want to have a blend in there.
Yeah. Record. I looked at. I got one of the had a manual with it, and I was looking in the manual, and it didn't say anything about running synthetic in them, but I guess it don't hurt.
The McCoy Redheads would run 25% caster and no synthetic. With the Fox, I run a total of 27%, and 3% of that is synthetic, and it runs very well. I run 15 nitro in it.
Okay.
What engine is that, Bart?
Wakes it up.
Yeah, that does wake it up. That was the trick the guys were using in Tucson the first year I went. I went out there with 10%. They're all running 15, and finally, I forgot his name, but he's gone now. He did. That'll come to him in a minute. Game said, try this, and I put some 15% in my plane, and oh man, that works at that.
It really makes a difference, doesn't it?
It sure did.
Yeah.
I said, well, next time I come, I'll bring some 15. So
I've been running the same Larry Foster Fox for over 20 years now.
Yeah.
2 different ringmasters, and the thing just runs great.
His ringmasters aren't normal guys, I'm telling you. It might be the guy on the handle, but whatever it is, I did learn one of his tricks though. He was flying one year that had it was red with an asymmetric paint job. The star or stripe or whatever you want to call it was more on one side than the other, and they may all be that way, but the one I saw, and I couldn't believe he had the wheels in it that were in the old ones from when I was a kid, them old hard rubber wheels. I said, how does he land that thing and it doesn't grab and go? And I went over and looked at it. He's smart, that's why. He had something on there to make it slick. Tape.
What color was that ringmaster?
Do what?
What color was that ringmaster?
Red.
That was probably mine.
Yeah, it was yours. It had tape on the wheels.
Yeah, put Scotch tape on it to make it slippery.
Yeah. I said, that sneaky rascal. Okay. So, see, if I can't win at these contests, I always try to at least learn something. As long as I learn something, I feel like I've gained something by going. I learned
you get a ringmaster that's not too heavy. My first one was 32 ounces. I could fly in the wind when nobody else was even flying out there.
That's awesome.
The one I got now was 25, and as long as they're balanced and they're trimmed right, they fly very well.
Yeah.
They fly very well.
Well, I got one of the new ultralights built. I hadn't got it painted yet, but I'm trying to go sparingly on the paint, and we'll see what happens with it. But I'm gonna put a OS 25S and the OS 25 FP in it.
Yeah,
and see what happens.
Fine.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good airplane. We've been having a lot of fun with ringmasters. But Eddie, what I was going to tell you, if you're wanting castor oil, look in your yellow pages or whatever and find out who sells go-kart supplies. because a lot of the go-kart guys use caster in their crankcase. But they'll tell you that, oh, we don't do that, we don't do that. Yes, they do. But when
Well, the
they
guys
get
around
done,
here run that purple oil.
well, a lot of them will
Or
run
green,
caster.
whatever. I can't remember what it was. It's
Well,
green thing.
I know what you're talking about. It's like Amsoil. It's a synthetic oil. But if you run caster, as soon as you finish the race, you have to drain it, because if you don't, you'll have to tear your motor down, because now it's full of jelly.
Gummed up, yeah.
Yeah. It looks just like the mess on your side of your Fox 35 except it's a whole crankcase is full of it.
Yeah.
You have to drain it while it's hot. And I don't mean cool, I mean hot.
Yeah.
I used to race.
I've been using a little bit of clots.
Yeah, well, the clots works good too.
Yeah.
But some of the guys, like the guy that I drove for way back when, he was old school. He believed in caster, and that's all he was going to use. And we did well for many years. It wasn't until I drove for a different guy and we started using 2-cycle motors and expansion chambers and wings and, doing enduro carts and running alcohol for fuel and all that garbage, that I learned 2 things. You can't see an alcohol fire.
No.
And two, these things they're getting too fast, and they were. So they limited us. They said half alcohol and half gasoline. We want to be able to know when you're on fire.
Yeah.
And that was a good safety thing. But they slowed us way down. We were going 125 miles an hour at Charlotte. And everybody says, well, boy, what would it be like to hit a wall? Death. Because you'd go under the wall. Think about it. You're 2 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah. At 125 miles an hour with those spoilers, it's sinking down even more. So if you hit the wall, it'd just be the end of you. There's no way. But I don't know. Go-karts were a lot of fun, but I saw a lot of good friends get hurt bad. I finally got too tall. The reason I quit, everybody says, why'd you quit driving? Because I got too tall to fit in it. Honestly. I'm 6'4". I can't fit in a go-kart.
Holy mackerel. Yeah.
What is Tryon building on? He's putting a motor on the airplane, guys.
You being 6'4", you got an advantage over us 5 foot guys. You got an extra 1.5 feet of ground clearance.
Yeah, how do I have an advantage? All I do is bump my head more often.
Yeah, but you're a 1.5 feet off the ground more than us on your wing overs.
Well, yeah, but trying to come down to 4 feet, Tom Looper and all comes down to eye level. I have to think, where's Tom? A lot of times at a contest, you'll see me cheat, and that nobody's ever called me for it because it's not really cheating. But I have Tommy go over and stand downwind, and the reason is so I know where 4 feet is. But I'll come down and fly to Tommy's shoulders, and that's 4 feet.
Huh.
And it's
good idea.
After I make 3 or 4 laps, he's just got to do that for 2 or 3 laps. Let me get used to where is it, and then from there on, the rest of the day, I'm fine. But he rags me about it. But the other guys got to ragging me about it the other day at lunch, and Tommy looked up at him and said, "Yeah, and the bad thing is he's the short one. My 2 brothers are both taller than me. My younger brother, my older brother, both taller than me. Bert, my younger brother, was 6'6", and my older brother 6'8 3/4".
Wow, 6'8".
How tall is your dad?
5'7".
That's how tall I am.
my mother was 5'11".
Yeah. I
don't know where it came from. I'm the only one who didn't smoke, and I'm the short one.
My wife's 5'2", I'm 5'7", and my oldest boy is 5'11", 350 pounds.
Wow.
I got a grandson that
he's a brute.
I don't know how tall he is, but he's hugging him like hugging an oak tree.
Yeah.
He's a big, strong fella. I got story I love to tell. I ran my lawnmower off in the ditch out here. I was going to take my truck and pull it out. He said, "Grandpa, get out of the way." He's picked it up and set it out of the ditch.
Yeah, those young rascals.
He works concrete for a living, and he is one strong young'un. But the other thing that I thought was funny, we were out riding bicycles one evening, and this young fella came up, and he thought, "Why is a guy like you, 60 years old, got a bicycle like that? I'm just going to take it from you." I said, "Son, you don't really want to try to take that from me." And about that time, my grandson come around the side of the truck. "You going to what?" He decided to think better of it, and he left. Phew, it was a mess. But I used to love riding in the woods. But I tell you what, everybody says riding in the woods, you land on dirt. Riding on the street, you land on asphalt. I'd rather ride in the woods. I've been hurt a lot more in the woods than I ever have on the street.
Oh yeah.
My word, that dirt's hard.
I used to ride when I was in the Navy. We'd take the dirt bikes up there, and when I was in Hawaii, to the Aiea Loop. There's a walking and biking trail, and I went off the side of the hill one day. It's not, it hadn't rained, but it's always damp. You know, it's tropics, so it's always damp. And I come around a curve there, and one of the guys had stopped. So I hit the brakes, and off the side I went. Well, when the bike stopped about 5 feet from the top, I didn't. Yeah. And I just tumbled down there. And happened to be a tree laying down. I went under the tree and grabbed a hold of it and stopped. Yeah. And I was probably 50 feet down. And luckily, one of them had a rope, and I climbed back up with the rope. The bicycle stayed up at the top. It was fine. Mm-hmm. But no, I got hurt that day. One of the other guys, they'd cleared some tree limbs, and we'd stopped, did something, and he went to take off. And when he did, he plowed right into that tree limb, right between his eyes. Oh, Lord. The bike kept going, and he just fell back.
Let me tell you one quick one, and then I'll get back to airplanes.
Yeah.
The worst I ever did, I was out just flying on a mountain bike, and we were really hauling buggy, about 6 of us. One of the guys smacked us. What do you call those things that come down from the trees that Tarzan swing on? Vine. One of the guys slapped it out of the way. Well, I didn't see it coming. And that sucker came back and caught my bar end, and the bike went that way, stuck in the vine, and I did the Superman, hit the ground. I'm sitting there seeing white. I thought I was going to pass out. I'm trying to get the stars to go away where I can see what's going on. The guys laid their bikes down, come racing back up the hill, because most of these guys are in their 20s and 30s, and Hope Ann's in her 20s at the time. The 3 of them come racing back up the hill trying to get to me, see if I'm all right, or I thought so. They went over, got the bicycle, and checked in. I'm still laying there bleeding.
Well, you know what their priorities are.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Hope Ann works at the bike shop. She don't have to fix it.
Lord, hey guys, let me interrupt for a second. Tom, I know you wanted to show something, Tom, and I know about airplanes. That'd be great if you show that.
Let's get back to planes.
Yeah.
Let me get it up here.
King.
Yeah, this is a plane that I got in 1961. Let me see if I can get it started here. There we go.
Oh, man, look at that.
Wow.
Okay, so how many of you remember when you were a kid and flying your first gas-powered, nitro-powered model airplane? This particular one is kind of a blast from the past. This is a WinMac. It's a P-63. The P-63 was designed by Bell Aircraft. At the beginning of World War II, they had the P-39, and a lot of the pilots had suggestions for improving the P-39, and so they designed the P-63. The P-39 was the Air Cobra, and the P-63 they named the King Cobra. So King Cobra was just an improved version of the Air Cobra. This is a P-63 by WinMac with a WinMac 049 nitro engine. And this particular model came out in 1961 and still has a canopy that can open, hinged canopy. These planes had the engine behind the cockpit or behind the pilot and had a V12 engine.
I think I had an Allison.
And
Mm-hmm.
I think the
Yeah,
biggest reason for that was they shot, had a gun shooting through
A cannon.
right in the center, right out the center of the spinner. So anyway, this particular one.
That's a chrome one too, isn't it?
Yes.
Very rare bird.
My question is, how would you like a gun shooting between your legs?
Really?
Perch. Back in '61, you could get the whole replacement engine for
$4.95 for a replacement engine for that in '61.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, take care of that pretty airplane.
Now, is that a control line plane, Tom, or RC?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
That's control line.
Yeah.
Tom,
It's a
about that
plastic,
time.
Win-Mac plastic control line model with the 049 engine.
There's one.
Please don't fly it.
Yeah, they're very expensive now.
I'll tell you what, I have tried for the last 2 years to find, you see them show up on the internet, and I've tried for 2 years to find a BD5, oh, phooey. SBD5.
Yeah, that's hard to find anymore.
A Dauntless. No, you can't find it. But if I ever do find it, it's going to be mine. That was my first airplane, a pale blue.
Wow.
My mama bought it for me with S&H green stamps, and I want another one. I cannot find it.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Look what he's got there.
So how did the wingback compare to the Cox? I'm only familiar with the Cox models.
No comparison. The Cox was a much better motor.
Yeah, mine was a TD7.
Oh, Lynn, you can't hear me, or we can't hear you?
We can't hear you, Lynn.
Lynn, your mic's muted.
Unmute your mic, Lynn. There you go.
There we go. I was trying to hear Rob, and I can't hear him because his mic's muted too.
Muted
It's a Canadian thing.
No.
I don't know. Is that better?
That's better, yes.
There we go.
Let me click on
There
you,
we go. I
Robert.
just had to beat on the buttons enough. Yeah, good seeing you guys. It's been a while.
Good to see you, Robert.
Yeah.
That looks like that has some big red stars
here's
on
the Cox
somewhere,
version,
Rob.
He's got a
P39.
Cox one. He's got a Cox version.
No?
That is awesome.
Is it not?
Yeah, this one hadn't even had the decals put on it. I've got a brand new Corsair also from Cox that I might throw on eBay. Just bought these to use as training aids in the classroom, and they didn't work out all that well, so I figured I may as well resell the damn things. I'll never fly them. But, yeah, this is a P39 from Cox.
That's cool.
I've never actually owned a plastic model that I've flown, so this is kind of new to me. I've got them, but I've never flown them.
My word.
But
they're kind of heavy for their power.
Yeah, it's life's been kind of hectic, so I haven't been in touch. Yeah, it's cool. So I had a little bit of flood in the basement here a while ago, so that kind of interrupted things. So my kind of been redoing my whole workshop and all kinds of stuff, and then crap's in the way, all these damned RC models, so I figure I'll get them out of the way. And so I'm working on a Spitfire right now to get it out of my hair. So it's one of those little 88-inch span yellow
Just little one.
1/5 scale ones. So I'll just sort of do a stand here if you can see it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. That's a serious piece of airplane.
Anyway, it pretty much takes up the whole damn shop. But I didn't have a cowl or a spinner for it, so I figured before I pretty it up in the ceiling in my living room, my wife figured that's where we should hang it. I'll keep her. So I figured I'd make a spinner and a cowl for it. So it was some templates and lathe work, and I'll finish up the bucks here for nail forms, and later on do silicone molds and make some real ones from it. But anyway, I just want to get this damn thing out of my way. I've still got the radiator molds to make, or I'll just do them out of ply and balsa and paint them up a bit. And the exhaust manifolds, I didn't with them either. And I got some from Czechoslovakia that are pretty damn decent. So I'll just do up a dummy set of them for now and just make it into a pretty little thing to hang from my main beam of my ceiling in my living room. And, you know, I'll put a few of my other Spitfires with it, and kind of like a windy Spitfire.
You betcha. That's awesome. I've been at.
Yeah, I got the big picture of.
I've been in Windy's Spitfire.
Lance print already there.
I've been in Windy's Spitfire room. It's unbelievable.
I know that.
That was awesome.
I'm envious as hell, you bastard.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable.
I've got the big print of Sailor Milan Spitfire on the wall already, underneath a actual prop from an Avro Anson 1.
Wow.
Off a Cheetah engine.
That's awesome.
So, and beneath that is a B-25 practice bomb from 418 Squadron. So it's a 25 pounder. So my living room is basically all aviation. Anyway, like the whole house. So I love it.
It's all good.
But my wife is understanding. I mean, she grew up in flying also.
She must be.
So, well, I'm trying to get her to fly control line more. She's actually flown once with Paul and soloed and everything.
Perfect.
But she's not too keen about it, but I'll work on that.
Yeah.
That is slick. That's really slick.
I got all those RSTs I had last year for her to crash.
The more women
and I've got 2 SV11s. Go ahead, Paul. Or Len.
No, I was just going to say the more women we can get flying, the better.
You got that right. You know, we're trying to get kids flying here too. And I don't know if you know John Fromm from the Alberta Controlling
No, I don't know him.
But he's an aircraft mechanical engineer out of Lacombe, just near Red Deer, central Alberta.
All right.
And he's super keen into the flying models, of course, all aspects of it. And so him and I have been conniving, and he came across these trainers, which are basic trainers, usable as stunt trainers. If you look into our control line site, you'll see one of the guys in Saskatoon taught himself to fly on it.
Right.
Now he's got a version he's putting flaps on it for advanced.
Perfect.
And anyway, hell of a good design for around 15, 19 engines, maybe 25s, older 25s. And heck of a good design. They're an ARF. And he's selling them for $75 Canadian, which is a steal.
Yeah.
So basically, we can set a kit up for control line flying for $300 Canadian, which is like $2.25 American. That's lines, handle, fuel, everything.
Wow.
So we're pushing on that. And tomorrow I'm bringing a young guy, 11 years old. He's been flying full-size airplanes. He's super enthused to get into it. Romanian immigrants. And I'm encouraging the hell out of this kid. So I picked up one of these kits for him and sitting in my workshop, ready to go for him. And hopefully tomorrow evening we'll start assembling it for him, and he'll learn about building model airplanes.
Good for you. That's awesome. You won't regret it.
So, and he's already flowing. We had him out to the field just before the snow flew. Yeah, we had him out to the field and flying one of Paul's 049 trainers. And after about half a dozen flights, he was flying it just fine. So this is what we need to do. Get these.
Got to get them hooked.
Get them doing what we did. You got it.
That's awesome.
So it's great. You know, we figured he's got a basically brand new McCoy 19 for this thing, which would be perfect because he doesn't know it yet, but his next airplane is going to be a 15 size Ringmaster.
Okay.
He'll build it from scratch.
Junior Ringmaster. Yep.
We'll just get this kid involved.
Cool.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that combination.
Very good.
19, this thing pops like crazy. It'll be good for
sure.
him. You don't need the super high-end, PAs and everything else for a kid to start with. We got to get them started cheap so they enjoy it. They'll crash it, and it's not a big deal. Build another one.
That's right. It's perfect.
Just like I can give them a $800 airplane and it plows into the ground on the first flight.
Yeah, and then he doesn't fly again ever, or it takes a year to build another one.
Yeah.
In this case, he's got $300 total into it, but in reality, it's a $75 airplane. It's not even that because this thing comes with bell crank, fuel tank, everything else with it. wheels. So in reality, he's got a $50 airplane.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
You know, it's kind of the way to go.
Low investment is good with kids. Low investment, high in fun.
Bart.
Yep. Paul and John and I are just, super keen on getting this happening. We've got approval in Lacombe. John has it through city council for kids flying in the city parks on control line model airplanes.
That's cool.
Without mufflers.
That's fantastic.
Good for you.
So we can't do that in Edmonton or Calgary or anything, but it's working. We're trying. It's just an uphill battle.
Yeah,
it really is.
Or maybe an upwind battle would be a more appropriate term.
John, you were asking something?
I want to ask Bart.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
I want to ask Bart because he flies a lot of ringmasters in old time and stuff like that. Wouldn't that McCoy 19 power a regular size ringmaster, just a lightweight one, quite well?
It would, but I think it would be underpowered.
You think so?
I think so. If you're going to compete with it, I mean, it'll fly it, but if you're going to compete with it in the old time pattern, yeah, I think it'd be underpowered.
But here he's talking about.
Bear in mind, this is just an 11-year-old kid.
Well, no, I'm thinking that 19 would probably power a regular ringmaster. Fine for him to learn on, and then if he got to where he wanted to do anything, competition-wise, he could go up to.
Oh, it would do 30. That, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it'll fly it.
Yeah.
It'll fly it comfortably, sure.
It might be a little bit saggy on the overheads, but if you teach a young man to fly the airplane, we had we built here in Tucson. We built 5 trainers at one time.
I did mine with flaps and everything for my Enya 15. Give me a sec. I'll pull it out here and show it to you.
Okay. Now we built 5 Gillows trainers here and started a program for the kids, but we couldn't find the kids. It's
that's too bad. That's sad.
Yeah. Really
what happened to that redheaded kid there in Tucson? I thought I saw a picture of him. Is he married now?
Pardon?
That redheaded kid that was took to flying real good.
Oh, I don't know if he's married or not. What he does, he goes around the country and he's one of the guys that will help close down a business. And he makes a ton of money at it. He goes in and cleans out the stores after they've gone out of business or whatever, or moved or whatever. And he's a real fine young man. He wants to be a police officer. And I haven't heard anything about him for quite a while now, so I don't know really what's going on. But he was a good young man, but he's too busy to, do models.
Okay.
He's a very, very busy man, making a lot of money. I know that.
That's good.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What you got there, Rob?
Yeah, if you guys can see it, this is that Viper.
I can see part of it.
I don't have the engine in it because Paul's doing some crankshaft mods for me. It's tail dragger.
Nice.
And
nice looking.
It's buildable with or without flaps. I'm doing mine with flaps, of course. And I put an adjustable rudder on it. But for basic flying, you don't need all that.
That's cool.
And this whole kit covered and everything, it's got everything ready to go. Fuel tank, the works. $75 Canadian. I mean, 50 American. It's nothing.
Really? Wow. What's it called again?
It's a little bit more work putting the flap on nicely. The kit version has a provision for flaps, but they're separate push rods on either side of the elevator to the flaps externally, and it's kind of crappy. But anyway, whatever. I didn't do it that way. I did it internally, but because that's the way I do it. But anyway, I figured I'd put one together just as a trial airplane is a bit of an advanced one, and use that as a demo plane for the kids. Faster in a way, I suppose, if you looked at it. It's got modern stunt proportions and whatnot in areas, but you add on flaps. Should fly pretty good. There's a guy in Saskatchewan, RC type, had never flown a control line airplane, and he bought one of these, put it together in stock trim, learned to fly on it, and he ordered another one to that he's put flaps and everything on with a bigger engine, and he's hooked on control line now. Hell with this RC stuff.
Wow, amazing. What is the kit?
So,
I didn't quite get that, Robert.
You know, sometimes there's some good comes out of the world. Yeah,
Let's
we're
go for Viper,
looking
Charles.
forward to a really good season next year here. This kid is 11 years old. His parents immigrated from Romania, kind of like Troyan. You know, he came here from there, and everyone I've met from Romania is fascinated with aviation. One of my flying students was from Romania, and I think I mentioned it on the forum on Hangout one night that kind of caught me by surprise. But it seems like aviation is a thing from Romania. I don't know. This kid has the passion I had when I was 11 years old. I've got to nurture it.
They got all those vampire bats flying around over there.
Just obsessed with flying. And they wanted him to take his full-size flying lessons at 11 years old, which you can't do.
Robert, I don't know if it's my connection, but you're not coming across very well.
Yeah, I'm the same with him.
A lot of delay.
Yeah, I'm getting that impression too. I see Len there with a ringmaster.
This is a Coroplast Junior Ringmaster made out of all plastic board. It's about $5 to build the actual airplane. That's all it is. It's 2 laminations of Coroplast for the fuselage with plywood doublers on the outside and wooden motor mounts, and then a single Coroplast for the wing and the tail. And what I did is I put 2 carbon fiber rods you can see through the center of the wing all the way up. And all that stiffens the wing so that it doesn't flex too much during flight. And I'll tell you, this thing flies amazing. It flies upside down. It does insides, outsides, and durability is unbelievable. You crash it, you just start it up again. Way you go.
Is that a Fox 35 on it?
I've got an LA-25 on it, but I'm sure that an LA-15 would be enough, really. But it really goes good with an LA-25.
I'll bet it does.
So yeah, it's fantastic. I'm having a ball with this thing.
What does it weigh?
8 ounces?
I'd have to check it. Hang on, I'll check the weight.
Yeah, and Coroplast doesn't cost anything. Just go down any major street and find a whole bunch of political signs that are still out there not picked up.
You guys should have lots of them down there.
Rolling materials.
Too many. We should have lots of that. You're right, Robert.
Yeah, the cop to come out and see you flying, they'll
For some
arrest you.
reason, it unmuted itself, or it muted itself. Is that better?
Yeah, are you sounding good? Yeah.
Okay. For some weird reason, my damn iPad had gone to the mute feature.
Okay.
Yeah, the video was sticking too.
Sorry about that, guys.
When it's small like this, it's fine, but when he went big, it was a lot of delay on my end.
Okay. That could be just bandwidth or something going on here, I guess. So hopefully I didn't waste a whole lot of time for you guys.
No. We got the majority of it.
Yeah, it's like the big gist was we got to encourage these kids and especially their parents to get involved because, you know, you can't just go to the local flight schoolyard to fly. The parents got to drive them out there. We got to get mom and dad flying these damned airplanes, not just the kids.
Yes,
That'll get kids out there.
I agree, Robert. Absolutely. And, you know, also being consistent, be out there and flying all the time. I've been flying where I'm flying at now for about 6-7 years. And that helps because people will, sometimes they'll see you, but they don't have time to stop. If you keep being out there, one day they will roll up on you and they'll introduce themselves. That's happened to me many times. The guy that I'm teaching to fly right now, he had been watching me for a while, and then he finally showed up, and he introduced himself, and we've been helping him build his plane, and we're flying. So I think it's just being consistent out there as well. You gotta have a spot and go there all the
Yeah,
time.
the consistency is the big thing in life. Period. I mean, as some of you know, I teach full size flying, full size aircraft flying, and the people who get out on a regular basis, those are the ones who progress. Those are the ones who have the flame for it, the passion, and we have to encourage them all, whether it's be tiny airplanes or full size ones, to get out there every day they possibly can and get flying these damn things. And that's what keeps the fires burning and keeps them enthused. Like yesterday, I was up with a fellow in a Grumman Traveler, and he's only got about 5 flights so far. I had him doing landings and had him through terminal control airspace and all kinds of stuff to a different airport, doing uncontrolled airport procedures, and he was just lapping it up, and he was doing fantastic. I mean, his second or third landings would have been acceptable for a flight test. Not great, but acceptable, because he's been flying regularly and he's enthused about it. And the same thing applies to model aviation. We got to keep them involved. We got to make them feel passionate about it and make them progress. Is what I feel is the future of our hobby.
Well,
and
we have
there
to
I
make
am.
them
I'll
feel
get off
very
my
welcome.
preacher pulpit now.
Yeah, we have to make them feel very welcome, like they're part of us, and it takes dedication on our part. We have to be there for them.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very good point, Bart.
Yeah. I've seen it with some of our super dedicated stunt flyers that they go out and it's every flight is to refine the pattern and make it perfect. And they're not really taking the time to introduce newbies into the hobby. It seems to be the more, I don't know, for lack of a better word, the more amateur lean of it that are trying to encourage the kids into it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's the right approach, really, as an overall holistic view for the hobby.
Yeah, if you're it's different if you're a sport flyer
opinions, guys,
and you're just having fun at it. It's difficult to, well, it's not difficult, but you're in a different realm. If you're a hardcore competitor, you're trying to improve everything you do because you're getting ready for the next competition.
That's right.
So you put in a lot of flights, to stay good. I know what I used to do, but I think you're right. I think more of a casual flyer or a sport flyer who knows what he's doing is still a very good teacher, but they're not as pressed to go out and practice hard. They can take the time
to teach, most definitely. Whereas the hardcore competitor, he's too busy focusing every time he goes flying on bettering his flying. He doesn't want to spend he doesn't want to spend that time teaching the kids how to do it. He wants to spend his time figuring out how he's going to get better at what he's trying to do. And I know because I've been there
like that
for a period of time. Yeah, it's very true.
In the long run, people like that skill in the sport.
I need to progress.
But I don't feel like
I
that.
need to progress in the next year.
I may go and practice, but if someone else will go out and fly with me, I would love it.
I don't think a lot of the guys are like that, really, because I know Tommy and I are is about as hardcore as you're going to find around here, and we both carry trainers in the car. And if somebody comes out and wants to fly,
that's good.
We'll put our big ones away and get the trainers out, and we have a lot of fun with. I've got a whole shot, and Tommy's got he's got a new one now. It's called a trainer. Is all I know. It's one of Tom Dixon's kids, Trent, but he's getting that thing ready. I don't know what happened to the old one. I guess somebody finally dorked it where it wouldn't come back. But anyway, I think the 12 of us that fly now. Well, sorry, 11 because Bill passed. But we have 2 new ones that are supposed to be there in the morning.
Okay.
And I mean, if those people show up, our big planes will stay in the car and truck, and we'll have the little ones.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. Because a lot of guys, it's hard to change gears though sometimes.
Well, it is now. If you came up to us in the springtime, right before Huntersville,
exactly,
or the Nats or something, probably
it's
not.
a little trickier. Yeah, it's a little trickier.
Harder then. But if you come this time of year when we're just wanting to get people in it, we'll get people in and say, "Hey, build this over the winter, and we'll fly next summer." We'll teach you to fly it, and then take them out and fly a couple of times on our planes. And by the way, I've got that handle that John told us how to set up, 2 handles with 2 different leaders on it, and it works. It works.
That's awesome.
But I still wish I could get I still like to get to train somebody like Bart did. The last time I was at one of the last times I was at Tucson, this young lady came up to Bart and asked him if he would teach her to fly. I don't know how he kept his hands off her.
Oh, you mean you missed a good part?
Is that 2-handle trainer? If I can ask if that 2-handle trainer, is that tying into the line connectors? Like we did that in the 70s where we just take a standard easy just and just tie 2 of them onto the line connector, and the instructor just pull back a bit if he had to.
This one, yeah, one of them is connected direct to the lines, and the other one's 3 more feet of line that come out from that. And if you need to, you just kind of step back and take it away from them and save it.
Okay, that's kind of the same idea, yeah.
Yeah, now Bart, I think
yeah,
Bart
we used to just do them
handle.
both onto the line connector the same and just pull back harder on one.
Yeah, yeah.
I normally do it just with one handle.
Yeah, but you got to remember, Bart could fly a brick.
Oh, right.
Yeah, well, he
did fly a coffee table once.
Now I am a brick.
I tell you what, Bart may not be as good as he used to be, but he can still whoop any one of us on a given day.
I flew one like a brick one time.
Well, I appreciate your kindness, guys.
Didn't you fly a coffee table once, Bart?
I never flew a coffee table. I flew a toilet seat.
A toilet seat?
Yeah.
I flew a stop sign, but that's as close to it as I ever got.
There you go. That works.
Hey, I got plans for the Flying Witch.
I flew a Leonard Skinner album.
The Flying Stop Sign and the Snoopy Doghouse.
I flew a witch.
I've seen the
Leonard Skinner album.
We built a lawnmower one time. That was fun.
Yeah, yeah.
I remember that one.
Lynn, you hadn't seen my Leonard Skinner album plane?
No.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a regular LP with
awesome.
Where the center hole is. I took an old plastic bell crank, probably like out of one of the tops, back, something like that, and it fit perfectly right through the center hole. And I took my soldering iron and I melted around it, kind of mushroomed it out, and that was my pivot point. Made a balsa wood motor mount for the engine and a balsa wood elevator. I mean, a rudder. Took the X-Acto knife and scored the record, popped it in half, made my elevator, and it flew. The problem is, the first time I did it, I had landing gear on it, and when it hit the ground, it snapped right at the landing gear. So the second one I made, I didn't put the landing gear on, and it just flew like a combat plane.
There was a guy in Korea that he took an old broom and mounted an old Enya 60 on the front, and with some Gillis trainer wings, and there was he cut out a witch and put on it, and I flew that. That was kind of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. Yeah.
The only ironic thing about mine was I was flying a Leonard Skinner album and it crashed. You know?
Oh, boobies.
I did. No, I mean, it did. It crashed and I broke the front end off of it. So, I mean, it's just kind of ironic there.
What's the
hardest
real airplane you ever flew?
Broke?
What's that?
What's the hardest airplane you ever flew?
The hardest?
The last one for me.
Difficult thing you ever flew. What was it?
The last.
It was tail heavy.
The Voodoo. That was the toughest airplane I ever.
Nice one, Steve.
It was too fast. Couldn't keep up with it.
Now it'd be really too fast.
My Voodoo lasted 3 flights.
Really.
Mine was a combat kitten.
Okay.
Oh, that was easy.
No, well, not for me. It wasn't. I was 10 years old. That thing was all over the place.
It flew you.
I'm gonna show you one of those.
It was a
Hey,
tail heavy super whipsaw with a.
Hang on a sec.
It was a tail heavy super whipsaw with a KMB 35 on it.
An FAI.
I do have a little tale. we used to hold when Cox got into their new plant in South Santa Ana, we would fly before the meetings in the summertime. And some guy came out with a really nice, pretty nice looking Curtiss pusher with a McCoy 35 in the back of it. And he wanted me to fly it. So, and it had spoke wheels on it and the whole thing. And so okay, looks straight and everything. So I took off and it flew pretty good. It had the actual undercambered wing and the whole thing. So, and it was pretty light. Well, about 6 laps into the flight, the pilot bailed. Guess what all the lead was?
Not a good story.
I want to tell you about one tail heavy airplane. You couldn't even move the handle. It was straight up, straight down. I don't know how I finished that flight and got it down. I did break the outside spoked wheel when I landed, but
wow.
I ran back. The thing ran for about 10 or 12 minutes. I ran backward the whole time, and that's the most sensitive thing I've ever flown in my life.
Oof.
Well, I can't even begin to tell you. Oh, that was
so
crazy.
You want to see a combat kitten survivor?
Yeah, Robert, hang on.
4.
Let me get to you, Robert. Come on,
oh, there you go. There you go.
The old
this one I built.
Yeah, I've flown those.
A pair of them in about 1974 for TDs on pressure, and this one actually survived. And being young and stupid, I cut a panel off each wing, and thinking that it'd be faster, so it'd be better. All I did was screw up the maneuverability a bunch, but anyway, it still won a whole bunch of matches. So, combat kittens they're fantastic half-day airplanes. This has the Taytone
radial mount,
build mount and all that, and with the tank in it. I don't know if I'll fly this one again. I used to fly it off asphalt a lot, so if you see, I've got whiskers on it, a little landing gear, and so that flew off cement. I flew this indoors a lot. I fly this thing indoors and dodge the sodium lights overhead, and I couldn't fly it on more than 30-foot lines, or else I'd smash a light. But
wow.
Yeah, they were a lot of fun. I think they were a great airplane.
I have a set of kits downstairs.
Well, not
that was the first airplane I ever built.
Identical.
Mine too, Steve.
To a
after I went from
there's no difference in the way. I've got a baby flight streak also.
After I went from Cox Plastic, we went to combat kittens, and I thought that I could fly it.
Yeah.
How'd that work out for you?
Just like it always works out for me. It lasted just about the same number of flights.
Yeah.
That's like ours. We had, they come through to a box. They come through to a box. We built one, and after I flew it, I said, "To hell with the other, and we ain't building it." It's still sitting down there. It's that plane. It's still in the box, and it's probably I don't know, 37 years old now.
Here's probably one of the oldest planes I own. And it's just because I've never built it or tried to fly
it. Still intact.
He's kept it in the crash condition.
If I want longevity, I don't build them.
That works.
Let's try on.
Hey, you built Samantha. She's hanging in there.
Yeah, she doesn't crash like your dad.
Well, I always figure kitted is better than re-kitted.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, let Tran had his hand up to say something. Let him say something.
Oh no, I said one flight for Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think actually on the combat kitten, I got 3 or 4 before I really dorked it hard enough to bust it all to hell. But
I'm doing pretty good on this one, am I, Steve? With about 100 flights on this one with the TD.
But
try hard enough.
That's for a punk-nosed 15-year-old kid.
But the one I built was on a bladder tank with an 051 on it. and it was so fast. And hell, I don't know if it was balanced right or what, but it was a handful. I don't know why I thought I could fly that, but
they were fun. Come on.
And I forget, it was like a hobby shop out
of. Had to
of.
be ready to crash.
It was a hobby shop out of Chicago. I think it was Chicago. It was in the back of the magazine. They had the double combat kitten in 2 Cox 051s, and me and my brother both went in, pooled our money, and got them, and then built them and flew them the same day, crashed them the same day, and then we went on to a flight streak.
You know what's really funny is this covering on this one, Steve, is solar film from way back when, the metallic red.
Oh my God!
And it's not saggy; it's still hanging in.
I love solar film, and I don't know why it went out of business. Nobody else.
The bottom of the tip
I do.
is sagging out a bit.
Yeah.
Why?
Because it was horrible.
I love solar film. That shit was it. Like you said, it didn't sag and everything else.
Well, if I find any swap meets, I'll send them to you.
All right.
We used to take guys that were training.
As soon as it started shrinking, stop. And don't. If you tried to shrink it like Monaco, the drum hard, you're going to screw the finish and it's going to start sagging again.
Leonard,
solar film.
Low heat.
We used to
As soon as it started shrinking, stop.
Hey, Leonard.
Hey, Leonard. John, go ahead, John.
Go ahead, John.
We used to take guys we were teaching how to fly on combat kittens over tall grass. And I tell you what, they survived quite well. They taught a lot of guys to fly on those things.
That's cool.
Well, the one I've got it's still built. It just I couldn't control it. It was squirrely. I didn't like it.
Probably tail heavy.
Just
well, no, right back in the days, you didn't know how to sense your controls.
Yeah.
Slow down the controls, and it'll probably fly fine.
Leonard.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what's the worst covering material other than solar film?
What's that?
Coverite.
Super what?
Super coverite.
Oh.
You remember that stuff?
Actually, I like that stuff.
I do
What
too.
I found worse is the crap they sell from Brodak.
I like Coverite also.
How do you like that?
You want me to pull out about 4 rolls of it?
Yeah, I got 4 rolls of it.
The crap they sell from Brodak is the
heavier than it's like a brick. You want to cover your airplane? Cover it in a brick.
How many guys have that sitting right at their desk?
You mean super coverite or super coverall?
Super coverite is heavy if you put a shiny finish on it. If you just spray on about 2 coats to clear and just fly the damn thing, then it's fine. But if you try and get that 20-point finish, you ain't going to get it with anything from Super Coverite.
Hell, I always just use the color stuff as Super Color. Cover right.
Yeah, exactly.
Super Color.
Yeah, I mean, I had a. Oh shit!
I'm gonna grab a roll of each for you guys.
Swear jar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think.
I remember I had a roll of that red stuff, super coverite red, and I did a Midwest ME-109 in it, and it was a brick, quite literally.
I have 4 rolls of.
I'd love to get my hands on a roll of coverite in the transparent yellow. I find it worked very good on an Excalibur set up as a primary trainer. Looked like dyed silk span.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found it really heavy.
I bought a.
Rearranging my workshop. I lost track of where I put it, but I've got rolls of the silk spun coverite and the super coverite. The silk spun coverite is the stuff that weighs up something super if you try and put a decent finish on it. The coverite, though, with the weave, which is basically just nylon, they don't go nuts on the finish. It's roughly the same because it's so smooth to start with. You don't need a whole lot of finish. unless you want a super shiny gloss. But if you're building a combat plane or something, what the hell? Just put it on it, put a bit of clear on it, and fly the damn thing.
Yeah, I had a Super Sportster with that red on it. And I want all kinds of pattern, for RC pattern with it. And
yeah,
that damn thing lasted forever. And when I finally did snap a wing on it, bust the wing doing a snap roll, when I picked it up, it was all still in the super coverite. I didn't have to pick up any balsa wood chip.
Yeah, a nice colorful bag.
Had a bag of parts.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and
carry
the
your,
nice thing
carry your
about
parts
it
home
is
in a bag.
you've got a carrying bag for your wreckage.
Nice, I love it.
Right, it was a super bag.
Yeah, it broke the nose off the airplane. It planted it so deep in the ground, but the rest of it was all crushed. I got the nose out. I grabbed it by the back there. I had two pieces I carried back to the field about a half a mile.
Nice.
Well, my
I've
old,
got a
my
unique
old
story
flight
there
streak, I
with
mean,
a-
I don't know how many times I figure nined it, and I never really broke the wing. There was no outbound of the fuselage. There was no structural damage ever. That stuff was just indestructible.
Well, yeah,
Now to break at the leading edge, like always on a flight streak, but
I crashed the airplane and I still had a wing, and there was no rips or tears or anything in it. It just wasn't shaped the same way as when I launched.
awesome material.
I got one for you
But
guys.
like I say, if you try and point it in, make it into a frontline finisher, yeah, it's going to weigh a ton. Try and make it into a Spark Flyer beater, it's going to last forever for you.
Go ahead.
I always liked Black Baron.
Steve, hang on, Steve. Let Bart. He wants to tell us the story.
Right.
Talk about some unique crashes. There was a guy that lived outside of San Diego, and he came over to one of the early VSCs. I don't know if it was a VSC or just a regular contest, but he built pretty nice airplanes, and he had a nice 3-bladed prop with I don't remember if it had a pipe on or not, but a full-size stunt ship. And he did a wing over, and apparently he forgot to clip his line clips, and the lines came off the airplane.
Oh, wow.
He went so straight into the asphalt, so straight. It broke the plane all to pieces. It broke the tank. It broke the motor. It crushed the spinner. Did not put a nick on the propeller.
Wow.
How is that ever going to happen?
Wow.
My wife did the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing with a twister right into the concrete. Bang.
Yeah.
Nope. Everything was totally destroyed. The prop was perfect.
Yeah. Crazy.
I've never seen it.
Tornado? What was it, Len? A tornado prop?
No, it was a top flight, just a regular top flight wood prop. It was unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah. I've never seen that happen.
$65 at the time carbon props. It didn't even touch it.
Yeah, unbelievable. The spinner was totally obliterated. Couldn't even find the parts for it. It was so badly done.
That's like
people got all the spinner on the asphalt.
At the Nats when we were the day before her flights there for advanced. We had that airplane and we were out practicing with it. And she always on her squares when she went down, she wouldn't go completely straight. She always put a little, I kept getting on her. When she's flying, I'm like, and we had electric then. I'm like, damn it, I want to see that thing straight. She came across and it went pop. Straight in, and it crushed the spinner so nice that it actually kinked it all the way in flat, cut the props off, and everything in the airplane went inside. And one wing sat there, and it was just balancing for a second and went plop, fell over. And I said, now that was a straight line down.
I guess.
Yeah, always.
Hey, Bart.
Hey, on the non-crush side, I want you guys' opinion on something. I'm thinking about buying a Score, just because the price is right. But the choice of engines would be a 46 FX, a 46 AX, or a 61 Evolution. Are any of them worth a damn for that airplane?
I'd say the Evolution.
I'd say the Evolution too.
The FX
You figured out work okay
was
on
hot,
that?
too heavy.
Like that?
Yeah.
That's all ready for a 61 Evolution. And the pipe's going to run underneath.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, it's a side exhaust on a 61. But
Pardon me?
The 61 Evolution is a side exhaust.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
why
it's
it
the angle.
smells that way.
Very nice. I like that idea. That's cool.
I forget what angle that's on, but I kept messing with it till I got
So
it right.
side mount, angle mount it and run it through the fuse stand. Okay, I like that. Because I just picked up a brand new 61 RC for cheap. But I've got those other engines too. I mean, other ones I have like a OS Max 65. That thing weighs so damn much; it's ridiculous. It's like 20
No, the
ounces.
Evolution. The
So
Evolution
there's no
would
way
be
that's
better.
going on it.
No, the Evolution would be better.
It's a 61 RC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You know, I've never heard of
a
one
big
of them.
deal to convert it. And
You know, run on control line, but I got a
I've
61.
got Paul Jabot in my hip pocket. It's no big deal to do a Venturi and needle valve for it.
I've run a 60 RC Evolution, converted it for control line, and it runs amazing.
Oh, no
absolutely
kidding.
amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely amazing. I guess it runs exactly like the control line version. I don't know, but it runs really good. I run it on 10% nitro, 10% nitro, but all synthetic. No caster in an Evo. Never.
Hey, Naomi.
Naomi, you're
She's
being
hiding.
called. What? Steve's calling you. He saw you walking. Say hello.
Hello.
Hey there. Tell Len we wanted to talk to somebody from Canada we liked.
They want to talk to somebody from Canada they like.
Len. By the way, Naomi, I'm Robert from Edmonton. We haven't met yet, but I've heard so much good about you, so it's really nice to see you face to face.
Unbelievable. Disappointed.
He's sitting there going, unbelievable, unbelievable.
I know, I can hear him. He just can't hear me.
So, greetings from Edmonton, Naomi.
Oh, hello.
Greetings from Tucson.
Hi.
And greetings from California.
Greetings to Florida.
Tennessee.
Minnesota.
Hey, you'll be able to understand him talking.
Hey, Tryon, you got to unmute your mic, Tryon. I muted your mic when you were standing.
You're everybody's control line hero.
Greetings from Georgia.
All right.
Hi.
So you been flying, Naomi?
Yeah, not as much as we wanted to this year, but we've gotten out quite a few times.
Very good.
You're making some progress over there.
And you just flew your new shark.
Yeah, slow.
Now, are you building a plane, Naomi? I thought you was building a plane.
Well, we're I guess we finished my Shark 402, and it flies really well. But our flying season's pretty much, well, it's done until the spring now. So okay. I won't be able to fly it anymore until the spring.
I thought you were one of them tough Canadians that flew until January 1st.
No, not me. I hate the cold.
I don't blame you.
Why do you live in Canada?
Steve, we've got 2.5 feet of snow here right now.
Damn.
But that's Edmonton. That's not where Len and Naomi are. They're down by Detroit.
No, they're 2,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Naomi, express my greetings from Paul Jabot. He speaks very highly of you.
Oh, wow.
He so much respects what you're doing in the hobby.
So
that's nice.
So when you got 2.5 feet of snow and stuff, and you go flying control line, does it bother the sled dogs?
Yeah, a whole lot. They go chasing the airplane.
Did you see the post that on Facebook that Steve made about if Jaws had been filmed in Canada? There's these two guys in a canoe and there's a moose.
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, if Jaws had been filmed in Canada, Facebook, so it shows a moose going through the water to a boat.
The only thing I do on Facebook is the Alberta Control Line model site. If you guys don't subscribe to it, look it up. It's fantastic. It's actually international in scope. The Northwest Flyers and everybody else, they're all pretty much members of it.
Yeah, I'm a member of it.
Yeah, I'm a member. I see
all that. What is the site called?
Alberta Control Line Model Aviation, I think. I don't know. I just click on it.
Have to look it up.
You'll like it.
We're pretty active here on the stunt side anyway.
When I used to go flying in the middle of the winter, it's like nothing stings more than getting your finger whacked by a propeller with nitro in 20 degree, 15 degree weather.
Well, one day, Samantha and I, we decided to go flying in the winter on Christmas Day. It was 72 degrees there in Florida.
That's so cold. Oh my God.
I'm so proud of myself when I get to ride my motorcycle on Christmas Day or New Year's or whatever.
You guys should come to Tucson in February when they have the Southwest Regionals. You'll be running around. The weather will be so nice. You'll be running around in shorts and t-shirts, and all the Tucson residents will be having their big coats and their hats and their gloves on. It's like
problem is we can't.
You know, it's hard to believe. All the years we've had VSC at Tucson, there's only 1 year we couldn't fly.
Yep.
Out of what, 34 years, something like that?
Yep.
Only 1 year. And usually it's pretty darn nice during the day.
Well, that day, Christmas Day or whatever, I was outside barefoot early in the morning, and it was like 62 degrees. And my aunt and uncle, they got coats on and stuff like that. They said,
"Oh yeah,
what's wrong with you? You're barefoot." I'm like, hell, if you don't go barefoot in 62 degree weather in Michigan, hell, a lot of times you would be able to go barefoot.
Yeah.
Troyan, this is for you.
How many on the
Up
screen
in Canada,
have?
In the winter, flying a pattern. You can get to fly a full pattern on internal combustion, no problem with your standard fuel. Well, I just got disconnected.
Well, I'm back.
Yeah, Peter's popping something up on there, and it kicked.
Hold on.
Oh, we're kind of here.
I know. Yeah, when you guys do a screen share, you guys gets rid of.
And that's where we are right now. 11 p.m. Friday, Tampa, Florida, 71 degrees.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm warmer than that in my house.
It's 48 here.
When you guys screen share, if someone's talking, it overtakes them, and it's kind of rude. So,
hey guys, I'm back online. I cut off there.
Share, unless you let me know you want to do it, then I'll let the person finish talking, then do the screen share. You guys understand?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
gonna
be over 80 this weekend, but we gotta add Saturday and Sunday together.
You're over 80. You're over 80. That would mean you were born in what? 1940?
Oh.
Yeah, 1940.
Guys are getting bad.
Okay, who wants to
Charles,
speak?
did I get cut off completely or what?
No, you're back.
Everything went dead.
No, we can still hear you, but
Even
when Peter put the temperature up, it just kind of covered your face and everybody's face. So
Oh,
go ahead,
okay. Yeah,
go ahead,
because
Robert.
I went right dead everything here. Yeah, I was going to say that, for Troyan, all the electric advocates, it's great in the summertime because your batteries stay live. In the wintertime, yeah, it's much easier to start an electric airplane. You just push the button. The downside is you can't finish the pattern.
Yeah, you limit the airflow to it, and you keep your batteries in your car. We do it all the time.
Why can't you finish the pattern? Why is that?
You got it.
Yo, why is that, Robert? I'm not following you.
Electric in the sub-zero temperatures, your motor won't run as long as long.
Okay.
If you get
by how much?
Okay.
But
how much percentage?
Combustion, all you got to do is up the nitro, and you're going to run just fine.
Yeah, if it's sub-zero, I'm not going to go flying. So
before you finish your pattern. So on
if
the
it's sub-zero, I'm not flying.
I guarantee you, mine wouldn't be running in the sub-zero weather because my butt's not going to be out there.
No.
Nah, nobody's going to go fly.
Our previous
I'm hardcore, but that's
conversation
ridiculous.
was about going out and flying in the cold. It's not going to happen as well with an electric airplane.
No, that's not true because all I did was make a little plug on the cowl and I plugged off all the air. And just what came in around the spinner and stuff, and the thing ran fine.
You got your full 7 minutes?
Yeah, I mean,
below?
Yeah, if you don't bring no air through past the battery to cool it down, it actually gets pretty hot. You have to adjust.
Well, I suppose
how
that
much
might
air you
work.
get.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Simple as that.
It works just like on electric cars. They don't cool the batteries in the winter.
Yeah.
Okay. I sit corrected.
And that being said, if you have less capacity during the winter, I don't care. I'm barely using half of the battery of life. I'm not even getting close to half of the battery. It's a 2800 milliamps battery, and I'm using like 1,200 and 1,300 milliamps of whole flight. I'm not anywhere close to. I got battery to spare.
Yeah. So at my level of experience, minimal level of experience, I'm just saying that I've got like 40 or 50 internal combustion engines and no electric. I'm not spending money on something else right now. Maybe later.
Well, guys, I don't know about where you are, but where I am, it's like almost midnight, and I was just going to call it a night. So it was nice seeing you and talking to you.
Yeah.
And
nice meeting you, Naomi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Naomi.
You can sleep right in the chair like Len does.
No, I'll let him do that.
Keep that
Hey, good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Hey, while we got a minute, guys, if anybody knows where I can find a canopy for a Cox Stuka, I'd sure appreciate knowing about it.
All right. Yeah.
Damn, I threw one out.
Cox Stuka.
Yeah.
Where did I see one?
I'm sorry, Cox Corsair. A Corsair.
Oh,
which Corsair are they? The racer version, the later one, or the actual Razorback bubble canopy?
No, this is a I think it's a bubble canopy. This particular one I have.
I'll bring it out so you can see. You can show it. Okay, just a sec.
A lot of my collection is gone now, and some of it was stolen when I moved to Tucson. But I got this Corsair that needs a canopy. It's I guess, a Corsair G model.
That'd be the bubble canopy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bubble.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is the full sliding greenhouse or the full sliding bubble canopy. You can see that in the picture.
Move
you
it
don't have
center.
Screen.
Center. There you go.
Yeah, that would be the one, I think.
Is that the one?
It looks like it, yeah.
Wow.
Is that
Mine
the one?
happens to be all chrome.
Well, you got an early one.
Particular one is a never flown, never started Cox Corsair. I'm thinking about throwing it on eBay, but not without the canopy. But you know, if that helps you for information on the specific model of the Corsair, I can dig the box down for you if you want.
Well, it looks. I think it's that one. Cox didn't make more than one, did they?
I don't. If you got the box and the original paperwork, you can
I'm
order.
not sure. I mean, Cox built so damn many things. The new Corsair.
What it
I
is?
don't think they made more than one
Corsair.
model of the Corsair.
If you have the box and the original paperwork, you can order
the
parts
box
from
so you
Cox.
can see that.
I don't have any of that. I just had the airplane.
Steve's just pulling your leg.
He's just being a jerk.
No,
Yeah,
it
so
gives you
okay.
the part number and everything, so you can order parts right from Cox.
Good luck.
Yeah, I bet. Uh-huh.
Gotta jump in
I'm
your way
gonna
back.
call him tomorrow, see what I can find. But no, actually, I picked this airplane up at a swap meet. It's never been flown, and I had to find an elevator for it, and I found a chrome elevator. So now the entire airplane is chrome, and
Okay.
just a canopy for it.
Okay.
Wow.
So
It's out there. You just got to find one.
that's it. Yep. Yep. You can almost find anything you want as long if you live long enough.
Yeah, if you live long enough and look hard enough, you're right.
Have enough money.
And have
Okay.
enough.
Have enough money.
You can
True.
find anything you want except for what you want.
Yeah,
There you go. That's true
that's
too.
true.
You know, there was somebody on one of these forums, and I'll have to get on Facebook and see, but somebody died and left this guy piles and piles of Cox parts. Just tons of them.
Yeah.
He said he had like 3 rooms to empty. The guy just had,
Wow.
and he was showing some of the stuff he had, like gaskets and just pistons and different things that he just tons of them. Thousands.
Wow.
So I don't know if he had a hobby shop, if this
So
guy
I
was
gotta-
just a hoarder.
Huh.
But
That's
it was
amazing.
just on
Sorry,
last.
Steve. I
it was
gotta
this week
apologize. I
sometime.
can't find the box real quick for that on what the part number might be and everything. I got the manual and everything for it.
I was just
Mine is
joking
brand
with him.
new
That was
also.
like what, 40 years ago. You could order parts for them things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pulling his leg there, Rob.
I've got the box somewhere. If you want, I can give you the part number and all that for it if I can find it.
But Bart,
Okay.
if I see that back again, I'll try to find out which. They keep sending me these things to join all these different RC things on Facebook and Control
Right.
Line and all that. And
Yeah.
it
They
was
don't know you well, do they, Steve?
huh?
They don't know you very well.
No, a lot of them people actually know me from RC.
I know. I'm just pulling your leg back.
You got what you deserve, Steve.
Someplace.
Hey, John, they'll regret it. I tell you this, within a few months.
No. You mean within a few minutes?
I haven't
Y'all are getting
started
rough tonight.
posting on them yet. I've just been reading so far.
Oh.
Once I decide to start posting, then they'll learn to hate me quick.
Well, you guys are rough tonight.
Hey, it's Friday night.
Rough crowd.
Friday night. No bars held.
I just had one of my cousins unfriend me on Facebook this week again. I'm like 5 cousins and about 6 friends all unfriended me.
You know what we need is about 10 million Americans to unfriend Facebook.
Yeah.
Oh, you found a box there, Robert?
Oh, there it is.
I found it. The
Oh,
Wow.
original
unbelievable.
box
That's
that this
very
came
nice.
in.
That looks in good
Brand
shape,
new, never
Robert.
run, never fun.
Gee,
Cox course.
gee, Bart, you ought to
Wow.
make a deal with
That's
him
the
for
one
that.
that you're looking for.
Is there anything you
I got
don't
the
have?
starter kit, the whole damn 9 yards. Probably the parts list and everything for that needed, John.
You got the little toolkit that came with it?
I've got the box for my P39 also, but I've never flown I've never actually the whole works. So I'm thinking about throwing it on eBay because I couldn't give a crap about a plastic airplane. But anyway, if you need parts numbers or references or anything, I'll be happy to oblige, but I can't supply parts.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Whole darn thing.
Between you and
Buy the
Tom,
whole darn thing, right, Bart?
It'll go for good money on
Oh gosh, yeah.
eBay.
Oh,
I've
gosh.
got
on eBay.
couple of Stuka parts. Yeah, I know that's probably $300 American sitting there.
Hey,
You never know. You never know.
You can
Everyone
sell
went dead.
that and buy yourself some good electric components and really enjoy control line flying.
Yeah, maybe that might be a possibility too. I've got around 50 or 60 internal combustion engines now, so I probably don't need any more. I just
Yeah,
picked
I
up
think
a 125 1.25 Sato 4-stroke for my Corsair. So that kind of rounds out my internal combustion, except for a PA 75 or a Rojet 76 for my El Raby Sea Fury.
Hey, here's a vintage control line Cox Corsair, unused, never flown, on eBay right now for $325 free shipping.
Yeah.
There you go.
God, for $325,
Yep.
I hope free shipping.
I think
Yeah.
I paid
Out of my
75
line.
Canadian for this.
Wow. You stole
I
it.
picked it up as a training aid for the classroom for my full-size aircraft instruction, and so I think I paid around $75 Canadian, which is, nowadays that's what, about $60, $70 US. So I probably should sell the damn thing because I'll never ever fly it. Couldn't care less about it from a nostalgic viewpoint.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I sure missed my 182.
You know, I was just wondering, I wonder if there's a way you could mold a canopy over top of the one you've got there and cut it to fit.
Yeah, it still wouldn't be the right canopy.
Wouldn't be the original. No, it'd be close, but not exactly.
These were injection molded, Len.
Okay.
They're pretty
Yeah.
thick.
Yeah.
They're pretty thick and they're pretty high quality, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
They just didn't hook them
I
down
look at
very
this
well.
thing and I
They
don't
always
see
tended
any
to fly
discussion in it.
off during flight.
This one here has the blue canopy on it, the blue tinted canopy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's so the pilot could bail out.
What they modeled this on, there was only, I think, about 100 of them ever produced by Chance Vaught. It was for the tail end of the Korean War as the Super Corsair. So the full-size aircraft, there's hardly any of them ever existed. And there, I think, if memory serves correct, 3 of them were surplus, and they flew in Goodyear Racing. Or not Goodyear Racing, but
the unlimited races.
What do you call
Unlimited.
it?
The damn thing.
So I think there's 3 of them flew in that, and the Cox one is representation of one of those.
They had the 36-cylinder what they call cob engine, corn cob engine.
Corn cob, yep.
And the two 18-cylinder souths
That's
together.
a 3840, I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that take off and go vertical.
Same
right
engine
out
they
of
used in
sight.
the Spruce Goose.
In Kalamazoo, we got the Air Zoo, they call it, and Pfizer? I think it was Pfizer. What was her last name, or was it Upjohn? One of the damn heirs for one of them drug companies there here in Michigan, built hangars and stuff. Her P-40 Mustang is hanging in the museum, and then they have all these other old World War II airplanes. And I swear to God, every time we fly at the control line at that museum, they have a control line field, 2 circles.
Oh, cool. That
she and the people that run it let them have there. And this guy is always flying that Corsair. Oh, noisy. Oh my God, does that thing make a lot of noise?
Yep.
Because they're right off of the runway, and you'll see him taxi back and forth and back and forth and back most of the day, and then he'll fly it. But he's always taxiing the thing. I don't know if it's hard to taxi and he's practicing or what.
Can't see where you're going.
That's why I had to turn
the angle.
Zigzag down the taxiway.
The nose is so high in the air they can't see where they're going.
Wow.
That was the problem when they first came out with the Corsair. They couldn't land them on the carrier deck. They had to modify their approach pattern and come in closer and turn and make sure they were lined up and then put the thing down because they couldn't see over the nose.
Wow.
We got to think if things
the
go,
reason they had the bent wing was for the landing gear, so it was stronger.
Yeah, but the nose is so long and the cockpit is back further.
Yeah.
And so you can't see over the nose when you're coming in at a high angle of attack.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope.
But they play hell on a nosedive though. Holy cow!
But didn't they fly a lot of Corsairs out of China? Didn't they?
No.
No.
P-40s.
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 They flew them out of the islands.
The Marine Corps flew them on the islands.
You know, a few of the other islands were
Baba Black Sheep.
Yeah, the Black Sheep Squadron had
Corsairs had 11-1 kill ratio.
1-1.
They only do the Hellcat.
11-1.
Oh, 11-1. I was saying 1-1. Hell, that ain't very damn good at all.
No, 11-1.
No, 11-1.
They could outrun them, and I think they could darn near turn with a 0 if I remember correctly.
If I'm not mistaken, they're the first
only aircraft better.
400 miles an hour, right?
I think
The
so.
only aircraft better
I
in
think they
that
were.
theater was the
First
Hellcat.
radial engine, anyway.
It was a hot rod.
Now, wasn't the
Well,
Bearcat
Hellcat with
that
the
never
same
made?
engine had 16-1.
Wasn't the Bearcat that never made the war?
Yeah,
I think
it was
so.
on a carrier.
Yeah, came out pretty
the
late.
Bearcat
Headed that
didn't,
way, but it never got into service.
But the Hellcat did, Steve. The
that
Hellcat
was
had
later.
16-1 kill ratio against the Japanese. Same engine as the Corsair.
But the Bearcat was supposed to be
Hellcat
the
was
one.
one hell of an airplane.
Oh, the Bearcat would have been a monster had it made it, but it was on a ship, but it just never made it over there in time.
Well, just too
Well,
late.
Guardian
Yeah,
didn't
too
make
late.
it in the war either.
Yeah,
Did,
it was
did the Bearcat fly at all in the Korean War?
in the Korean War.
Yes.
Yes,
No.
ground support.
No.
Ground support.
I don't think so. I have never seen a picture
Its
of it in the
British
Korean
counterpart,
War, so.
the Sea Fury, did. The Sea Fury flew in the Korean War, but the Bearcat didn't. And they
Okay.
were just about equal in performance.
Why would they not have flown the Bearcat? It was available. I mean,
Because they had the F9F Panther already. So
Yeah,
were
they already
flying
had
that.
the jets.
I thought it was the F4 Phantom.
no.
Yeah, in Korean War, you were
No, that came,
already
that
getting
Phantom,
the
came
jet.
in
didn't come around
Vietnam.
till
The F4 Phantom was Vietnam.
Vietnam, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
no, it's the
Panther was-
Panther and the
That's old technology, but they were
The Korean War, you had what was
Korean
it?
War.
The F-86.
that was our
Korean
first
War?
F-wing
That
fighter.
was the mainstay in Korea.
Well, that's
F-86.
Air Force.
They had the
The
Sky
F-86 and the
Sky Raider.
F-94 and the F-80 were Air Force.
Yeah, the
Sky Raider
F-80 was our
piston
first
popper.
jet fighter,
Yep.
period. That really was a
Yep.
fighter. And then they developed the F-86. It was the first swept wing fighter. And even in Korea, the MiG-15s could actually outfly it, but we just had a lot better pilots. That little MiG-15 was a little hot rod.
You
It
got
really
that.
was
Yep.
today. Yeah, the MiG-17, boy, that was, had an afterburner in it.
We had Dr. D'Amico here in town, and he was a jet ace, one of the first jet aces in the Korean War. But I forget what he had all the plaques up in his one office there, and but yeah, he was an ace.
Wow. So he flew F-86s then.
I'm not sure what he flew. Yeah, it probably was. I don't know, but yeah, then he taught or something after he got so many flights and he was an ace and shit. They brought him back to teach other fighter pilots.
Well, yeah, he was a go-go guy after that. He came back and he's one of the rah-rah guys, probably, because they did that then. They'd take a hero pilot and they'd bring him back to the States, and he'd give speeches and all that all over the place, And actually, who remembers the Sky Knight jet?
I remember.
It's a Navy jet. It was a two-seater. Yep. And it actually had a MiG kill in Korea.
So did the Corsair.
Now, the first MiG kill for a piston aircraft, though, was a Hawker Sea Fury from the Royal Navy off the carrier Illustrious, I think it was.
Was it?
Forget the guy's name right now. But anyway, a Hawker Sea Fury had the first piston kill against the MiG-15.
Yeah.
Well,
he must just got him as he went by.
Quite
no way he flew with him.
Because I know a Corsair got a kill in the Korean War.
Oh, there were several piston jockeys got kills on MiGs, but the Royal Navy aircraft pilot was the first piston driver to score a kill on a MiG.
Yeah,
he was doing escort with a fighter support with a Fairey Firefly on introduction, and a MiG came in and he turned inside him and killed him.
I don't know if a Mustang got a kill.
That was Lieutenant General or Lieutenant Gray, I believe was his name. Anyway, that was the first piston against jet kill, but I think there's been jet against jet kill before that.
Pretty neat.
I was very lucky in California to live fairly close to Chino Airport. And that museum out there, they flew most everything they had. I've seen a real Japanese Zero fly with the proper motor, the whole thing, and a P-26.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's an awesome airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The airplane was actually initially restored. That Zero was initially pulled out of the jungles by Bob DeMert in Carmen, Manitoba, in southern Manitoba, Canada. And he did an okay restoration on it to get it airworthy. And then it was purchased by the Texas group, what they call them, Confederate
Air Force.
And they did another rebuild on it to get it closer to stock. And then Chino bought it and did it as close as is possible to stock.
Yeah.
So that plane was originally done by Bob DeMert, and then went through at least 3 hands before Chino got onto it. Incredible airplane, because it would have just rotted away in the jungles. I think it was New Papa, where he Popeye or whatever, where he recovered that and a couple of other airplanes from. I actually went flying with
they flew that Zero here at the Muskegon Air Show. And they said it was the only flyable Zero there was.
Mm-hmm.
But we figured
they must have
shipped it in somehow on another airplane, because it was from California, and I can't imagine them flying it from California all the way to Michigan.
Well, there are more than one, and most of them have the American motors in them. But the one that they flew out there, Chino, that one year had the actual engine, Japanese Mitsubishi engine in it, and it had a pretty good roll rate for its day. That's what it was known for. I mean,
they flew.
The guy who brought it.
They flew a Mustang. They flew a Corsair. They flew that Zero.
Yeah.
Some kind of Texan. and they flew them all together for
yeah.
World War II. And a buddy of mine, he started freaking out and went back to the car because he said that he couldn't take the sound.
Oh, really?
Especially the Zero. He
They
said
had a
never
Mustang rally out there one year, and there was 14 Mustangs. And boy, that was a sight to see those all go over. That almost all the models, I think, except for the K, were represented. And wow, you got to hand it to those guys that put these airplanes back together, because boy, that's a labor of love.
Yeah, when Bob brought that plane back from the jungles in New Guinea in 1971 or 72, when they did it, there was basically just a serial plate and a bunch of junk.
Yeah.
And he rebuilt that to a flyable status. You know, people had said later that it wasn't a good restoration. Well, hell, he brought it back from junk.
Right.
You know, at least he left some bones for someone else to restore better. And I went up flying with Bob, actually. My first airplane that we bought, I thought about buying one from him. So I went out to Manitoba and went flying with him. Man, he's nuttier than a fruitcake in the air. It was hilarious. But it was a hoot. But anyway, total passion for aviation and history and everything else. Total nutcase, but you gotta love him. And I had a lot of fun with him, learned a lot, and without him, there wouldn't have been him or about half a dozen other Japanese airplane existing on the planet for us to enjoy out North America.
Hey, I got a question.
Oh, you guys, hang on. Peter wanted to say something. Go ahead, Peter.
Okay, just going, reflecting back on the discussions that we had. Here we go. Bob Lampioni. There's his F-86, his F-86 control line model. We're getting back to model airplanes.
Yeah.
That was his rendition of it, and there are plans to build his. I don't know if it's classic legal. No, it's 1970. Maybe it's N30.
It's N30.
Wow.
But you can build the Bob Lampioni's F-86, and let's see. Then we have you had your MiG-15s that we were discussing back in the Korean War, obviously, and I just wonder. If you had the MiG-15, do you think they stole some plans from Lockheed? Because there's your F-86 from back in the 1950s. And then you look at the MiG-15 and it's like, oh, geez, somebody stole somebody's plans.
No, the MiG was a really different airplane.
Yeah.
Okay, Peter, down to it.
Peter, they
hold on a second.
They stole the German plan.
This is what I've been working on. I mean, I work on model airplanes, but this is one of the things I've been working on. So if
that's beautiful.
Guess what airplane that is.
If you don't recognize that as a Mustang,
no, I could never tell.
hold on 1 second. Let's do it this way.
Oh, it's good. Nice.
So that obviously that's a P-51D.
Yes, sir.
Nice looking.
Or a K.
That's not a D. That's a K.
Can you tell the difference between a D and a K?
I got a question for you guys.
Yeah, John.
We're coming on building season now.
Yeah.
Into it. So what are y'all building?
Turbo
What do you got planned? What do you got planned for this winter's build?
Something harder to crash than what I have been building.
A brick.
That's not possible.
Right now, my plans is just restoring all the skeletons I got hanging up.
All right.
Okay.
Did Trayan leave?
Yeah, he left.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
And there was some.
Are you building anything?
I was going to ask Tran, and I forgot, and I couldn't remember the whole night tonight. I'll remember once we're off here again.
Bart, you building anything?
No, I got to fix the Pathfinder, and then I got to get the too much back in the air, and then I'll go from there.
Okay. I know what
I'm sorry. Go ahead, John. Go ahead, John.
No, go ahead. Let him answer.
Which too much do you have? Is it one you built or is it one that Gordon built?
No, I built it.
Oh, okay. Because I remember seeing Gordon hide behind one at Tucson one year, and I thought, that's the biggest airplane I ever saw. I walked over and looked at that thing, and it was the biggest CO plane I had seen to date.
I've got a lot of flights on that one.
But I have since seen Paul Walker's B-17 fly, and that's the most incredible control liner I ever saw.
That's a big airplane. Man, that's huge.
It is, and he flies the heck out of it.
Yeah.
So, John, you're flying too much? Are you building too much?
Me?
Yeah. You're building too much?
No, I'm not building enough.
No, I mean the airplane. Come on.
No, I'm not building. I'm not building too much. Bart's going to repair his too much. I'm building.
Okay.
I'm still drawing plans for the ones I'm building.
Which ones?
Because I'm having a hoot flying Bruce fly. Seeing Bruce flying his too much all the time.
Oh yeah,
in Alberta.
Yeah. Nice thing about Bruce is he's got the retracts and everything in it, so it's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Well, mine did too.
Retracts,
How'd you-
man, they work great.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had retracts in yours, Bart.
Huh?
I didn't know you had retracts in yours.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
How you
cool.
actuate them?
I had retracts in my Corsair, but they weren't.
You got a timer in yours, don't you, Bart?
I'm sorry?
How do you
got a
retract
timer in yours, don't you?
Whoa, one at a time.
Somebody's trying to ask me a question.
Okay. Bart, timer in yours or acoustic?
I can't hear you.
Do you work off the sound of the engine?
Sorry.
Or have you got a timer?
Oh no, I don't have I have a timer that when the engine's shut down, the gear comes down. It's really neat.
Okay, the way Bruce
So it's an
has
acoustic
his
timer.
is he's got an acoustic. When both engines quit and the timer and the sound quits, then the gear goes down.
That's what Bart's got.
And it works every time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it fail.
Okay,
Well,
so
What makes them come up?
It's okay. I've got it. There's a little thing I bought from California. I can't think of the company now. I'll have to get it.
Jomar.
Yeah, Jomar. And they made a little device, and you can set the timer in it. So when you let the plane go, you flip a little switch. Mine is in the back of the right nacelle. This little slider switch. And the timer, and I've got it timed so when it gets about a half a lap, it's off the ground, the gear comes up. And it'll stay up until the sound quits, and then the gear comes down. And it works every time.
The gear itself is electric.
It sounds like the same system Bruce is running then, yeah.
Well, I had a servo on hooked up to a landing gear. Now I've got a new set of gear where everything is in the gear, the servo and the gear, but it'll still be operated by the Jomar timer. It'll just be a lot more reliable.
So is that for just the coolness of it, or does it?
Yeah, I mean Gordon had one in his, so
Yeah, I didn't know if it performed better with less drag from the landing gear, or
it is less drag. There's no doubt. Now the thing about this airplane, I would wheel land it down here at Tucson. That thing would roll 3/4 of a lap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was 96 ounces, and that's a lot of momentum going around the ground.
Impressive airplane.
Pardon?
It's a hell of an impressive airplane to see fly.
Oh, it's fun. They're fun. It pulls like a bear, but it's fun to fly.
You gonna build anything, Phil?
Say again?
I'm working on a couple. I'm working on that Turbo Raven, and I'm just at the point of working on the fuselage, and now I'm trying to decide: do I really want to do this thing for an 81, or do I want to do it electric? I got to make that decision in the next few days.
Yeah.
So I don't know which it's going to be. It was really going to be an 81, and then
That's awesome.
And then I got to looking, and I got to thinking, and I got this new Vector going, and this one worked so well that I thought, maybe an electric would be nice in front of that plane. If I can get an electric, I'm going to talk to Trayan and see if he thinks that 510 or if a 500 kV Joker would be a better motor for it, because there just aren't that many. I can't find that much paperwork to understand 4 cells, 5 cells, 6 cells. It looks to me like the most popular system out there is 4 cell.
Well,
so the 6 cell will turn a bigger propeller naturally.
Yeah, Badass makes one about what's a 540 or something, and that's shit 1200 watts. I mean,
Wow.
that's way more than what you need.
Well, that might be what I have to look at then. But anyway, anything, the system that
Fioretti?
Oh God, I can't think of the name. Think of his name. No, Big Art's son, Adamison.
Dennis. Yeah.
Dennis. The
Dennis.
system Dennis came up with will pull a Strega. Well, this is nothing but a modified Strega. I mean, that's all it is. It's just a customized Strega. So that would pull it. But the ones I've seen fly pulled it, but they looked like they were, let's just say, not really as spirited as I like them to be. So I want a little more power. But I think I can make it work. I've just got to work on it some more.
Yeah.
But it's a combination of it's a Strega wing with a tail and all that Tom Looper designed, and the fuselage that Tom designed, and it's the plane the guy on the West Coast flies. Whiteley flies on the West Coast, but anyway,
yeah, he's here in Tucson.
Yeah, he flies it well. I've watched a few tapes of him flying it, and
what airplane is this?
Do what?
What airplane is this?
His Turbo Raven.
Oh yeah, I think he built his own.
Well, Tom Looper drew the plans up for Roy Trantham. Roy had them drawn.
Oh, okay.
For Bob, and then the guy from Pennsylvania saw it, and he came up with his version of it, which is very close to it. I am lucky enough to have the original plans, or a copy of the original plans, so that I'm building off the originals. But the originals don't have the wing that I'm using, but I have the same wing that I understand Whiteley used, and I know that he used. So it's going to be it's just a redone Strega. Is all it is.
What wing did Banjock use?
I think Banjock used I think, from what I've been told, he used the Strega wing, but I don't know for sure. He may have used the wing on the plan.
That's a really thick wing. That's a 3-inch thick wing.
I think that's what it is. I think it's a Strega wing.
Yeah, I think so too, because that was like that. Them other airplanes he had, they were all kind of the
big thick wing. Yeah. His Mustang had a really thick wing too.
All of them did. Yeah, it was all windy. Cardinal wings or whatever.
No. Banjock's Mustang was not a windy. That was a
Bob
wasn't
Hunt.
It? No, it was a Bob Hunt.
Okay, but I'm just saying the wing in that airplane was very thick. That's all I was saying. I wasn't saying
I got the lost phone picture for it downstairs, but I don't remember how thick it was, but I don't remember it being but about maybe 2 1/4 maybe.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong then.
But it's a Hunt wing, so it wasn't too thick.
Okay.
He doesn't build big thick ones, but man, that thing flew until he crashed it. It really flew pretty. But
did that Mustang crash?
Don't they all do that?
Oh yeah, he tore it up and fixed it and flew it another season.
Okay.
But you could see the glue joints in it everywhere. Where he repaired it. But
he flew 2 years ago at the Nats when something happened. He pulled that damn Mustang out, but it didn't run. It had a 4-stroke in it.
No, it was a 61 on pipe.
Yeah.
When I saw it anyway. And now Banjock, it might be a 4-stroke.
Yeah, Banjock is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it might be a 4-stroke now, but when I saw him fly it, was a 61. Bob Hunt started that model and lost interest and sold it to Banjock.
Oh, okay.
Is the story that I got from Bob.
Okay, that's interesting. And, that's the Suzy Q one, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's the one. Okay.
Yeah, and
he won Brodax with that twice.
I think there'd be a jet on it.
He won Brodax with that airplane twice.
Banjock is quite a pilot, but
yes, he is.
When he came here and flew that jet at night, I stuck around. I stayed 2 hours after I should have come home to watch that thing fly at night, and that was the most incredible flying thing. I don't know how he saw the ground. I'd have flown the bloody thing into the ground. I couldn't see, but you could see that fire, and
You didn't ever see the YouTube video of Samantha flying it?
I've never seen it, but I'd like to.
He gave her a patch that says first female jet pilot or something. I don't know. Control line jet pilot.
That's the one
pilot.
thing
He had made up.
That's the one thing I love about Banjo. You never know what the heck he's going to do next.
Yeah.
Is he the one that was flying at Brodak with that double flight streak?
Yeah.
That big 86 inch.
Yeah. And the big bi-swab.
Absolutely
amazing. He said this thing's only legal in 3 states, and this ain't one of them. And he flew it. He's a mess.
I still want to see what he comes up with. You remember when Cox made weed whackers?
Yeah. Yep.
I gave him a Cox weed whacker motor, and I told him he's got to do something with airplanes on it because the thing was like brand new, and it ran and everything.
Danny probably will.
He said he's going to do something. I told him, I said, if anything else, make a generator so you can charge something or keep a light on or whatever.
You know the reason he drives the vehicle he drives, that little Ford, it looks like a little service truck.
Ford Transit.
His airplane fits in the back of it. That's the craziest reason to buy a vehicle I've seen yet. But that's the reason he bought it, because my plane fits in the back of it. Is what he told me.
He had that Ford Aero something.
Yeah, an Aerostar, yeah.
Yeah, Aerostar, and it would fit. His airplanes would fit in that one too. And he drove that thing for like 300,000 miles till it died.
Yeah, it finally died on him.
So then, when he goes and picks out a new vehicle, he takes an airplane with him.
Well, you have to
and see if it fits and stuff. Then he bought it.
I think Danny always has a plane in the car with him. I mean,
why wouldn't you?
When I go rent a car, I make sure my plane fits in there.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
I rented a car to go to a contest one time. I rented a van, and when I went to pick it up, they gave me a car. I tried to give me a car, and I said, "This won't work. I paid for a van. I want a van." And they wanted to give me a town and country wagon or something. I said, "I'm not town and country. In the big Chrysler, whatever it was." I said, "No, I need a van." So I ended up driving my pickup to that contest.
Well,
yeah.
I'll tell you what, I've got a town and country. I drove from Tucson up to Salt Lake, picked up Gordon. We took 5 full-size stunt ships back to the Nats.
Oh, I know that. I'm not knocking.
No, I mean, you make a rack and they'll all fit. Everything we had fit in there.
Yeah.
Just fine.
I drove one for years. And when Tommy Looper, Terry McDowell, and I went to a contest all up and down the East Coast from Pennsylvania to Florida, that's what we took. My old van. Now Terry drives. But Terry's getting to where he can't bend over to pick the planes up anymore. So he's selling most of his stuff and not doing much flying. So I figure it's time for me to get something that I can go, because I hope I still got a few years left in me.
Yeah.
But I just can't see. I don't understand why you rent a van and tell them you're going to take a model airplane, and I think they think a model airplane.
Oh, probably.
So when I showed up with a pattern master, he says, "Say what?" I said, "Yeah, and there's 3 more to go in there too." "Oh no, I don't see how that's going to fit." No kidding. That's why I rented a van.
Exactly.
So anyway, they finally. I went home and took my pickup truck to Florida that time, or wherever it was, Georgia. Went to southern Georgia. Anyway, went down there to the contest in my pickup truck and came home. I was so upset when I left the rental car agency. I didn't even turn in my paperwork or anything. Didn't even get my money back. So the next week, they gave me I got a bill and wonder where the car was. I said, "I never picked up a car." That took a month to straighten out.
Oh,
but
wow.
Once my wife finally got it straightened out for me, because I got so frustrated with it, I couldn't stand it. My wife has infinite patience. She's been with me 45 years, and she's put up with me all these years. She's got infinite patience. Anyway, when she got that straightened out, the next time we wanted to go somewhere, I called him and wanted to rent a car. I don't think we ever got a bill for that car. We drove that sucker for 2 weeks. I don't think we ever got a bill. But anyway,
they were scared of her. They figured, don't give her a bill.
Again.
They worried about me. Don't mess with her.
That's right.
So we feel so sorry for that guy married to that woman. We're not even going to charge you for that car.
No.
Hey,
No,
Phil.
I got what's called a good one. Yes, sir.
Did you decide whether you're going to scratch build that little Ellie or going to order the kit?
I have not really decided yet. I'm the little L I don't know about. I don't know when I'm gonna get around to that one. But the big the LE, I'm probably going to have to buy a kit for that because that is a lot more wood than I'd have to buy a lot of wood. And the last 4 pieces of wood that I've ordered were 2 pieces of 8 by 4 by 48 and a piece of 1 inch by 4 inch by 36. And I can't remember what the other one was, 3/8, I think. And they all were great for Louisville Sluggers, but not for model airplanes.
Wow.
So
That's
I think
sad.
I'm going to have
Gotta agree with you on that.
I think I'm going to have to let the guys.
I've been going nuts trying to buy wood.
I don't know where you buy it anymore. I bought from Brodak and got some good stuff, but the last time I ordered, he called me and he says, I just can't fill the order. I don't have the wood. So then I got some from Nosen Kits, and I opened the box, took a look at 2 pieces. I never even took the other 2 pieces out. I sent it back. I said, I don't know what this is, but this is not contest grade. It is not 6-pound test max. I said 4 to 6, and this is way more than 6-pound test.
Yeah, it's getting hard to find.
And the bill was 4 pieces of wood was $60.
Wow.
I sent it back. I said, that's nuts. I said, y'all are crazy. So, and they want to charge me $26 shipping, written on the box, $11.30 or something. And they want to, I said, man, I don't know where y'all making your money on shipping, but I'm not going to pay it. I'm lucky enough that I know the postmaster down here, and I told her what it was, and we took a look at it. She says, I'm going to make like I didn't see that. And she taped the box back up and returned the sender. And I just told them when they called me and asked me why it was returned, I said, because I ordered 4 to 6 and I got 12 to 18.
Yeah.
What it felt like. I said, that's ridiculous. You can make a ball bat out of that.
Well, Phil,
yes, sir.
Phil, RSM is the only one that makes a kit of that.
Yes, sir.
And that's the kit that Peter built.
Yep.
So the new guy that's taking over probably has it in his
he's got
lineup.
6 of them. He has 6 of them. I've already talked to him.
Oh,
and
okay.
I think I'm going to get one. They were cut by the guy that had it before, so they're older wood and they should be pretty good ones. And I got my Thunder Gazer kit from him, and it feels like it's got good wood in it. I didn't take everything out. All I took out was the plans and looked at it. But it looks like good wood and good hardware package and
That's
everything
awesome.
in it. And it's a good looking kit. So I tell you what,
I'm glad.
Tell you something weird about a Thunder Gazer. When you get a kit in and it don't all fit in that box, the box looks, the top's not flat, it's kind of crinkled, and you open it up and it's because there's so darn much wood in that box that it won't all fit.
Wow. Oh yeah, it's true.
That is a lot of stuff in that little box.
That's
Here's
awesome.
Here's a little trick for you, Phil.
Uh-huh.
When you get ready to order it, ask him to go weigh all the kits that he's got.
Send me the light one.
That's right. That's what I do. I do the same thing. That's a great idea.
Who makes the Thunder Gazer?
Thunder Gazer is made by RSM.
RSM.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful looking kit, but it is one big airplane. There you go.
Somebody's got a twister.
Why don't we do an online check on what SIG is doing?
Oh, can't hear you.
On
You're
brand
breaking
new
up,
open
Ron.
kits. I think in it. I'm going to pull up my scales and let's find out what the hell of a typical piece of wood is in this. Give me a sec here. I'll get my scales.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to build anything this winter.
You're not.
Why?
Because I got like 8 planes to cover.
Well, that's building.
That's part of building.
That's finishing.
Okay,
I build too much and finish too little.
Well, get at her.
Well, hey, Lynn, you're still going to build that Cardinal?
I'm going to finish the Cardinal. The Cardinal's almost done. I just have to paint the fuse and cover the wing with the iron-on and do the trimming on it, and it's done.
Oh, well, you got enough time left in the winter then to build another plane.
I'm going to start building either a impact type airplane for a PA-61, or I'm going to start a Strega. I haven't decided which one.
Yeah, but see, you got an advantage. Your winter's a whole lot longer than our winter.
Most definitely. I also.
That's such a gift.
Go
ahead.
And I also want to build a profile Spitfire that I've drawn up for I think I'm going to use a Brodak 40 in it.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, I'm excited.
So you're going to be busy.
I'll be busy.
I know what Peter's going to be doing. He's going to be covering a couple of airplanes.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily covering a couple of airplanes, but I do know that Steve was supposed to be also building one of these.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I get them built and I don't finish them.
Well, get at it. Don't be silly. You got lots of time. Finish them.
I've got the wings done. What about your Spirit of Saginaw?
Here's the only one I got primer on so far.
All right, guys. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all Monday.
All right.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one. We'll see you next Friday.
Steve, one thing I can tell you, and I'm going to get out of here too. You and I are afflicted with the same affliction. I've got eight downstairs.
Oh my goodness.
There's only 8. There's only 8 because I just finished one.
Okay.
I finally got. The funny thing. Once I get an airbrush in my hand and start playing with it, I really enjoy it, and I'll probably knock out 3 or 4 of them.
That's awesome.
I have the devil's own time starting to paint. I don't know what it is. And then as soon as I got all interested in painting, we've had a windstorm last week. We had a rainstorm this week. Everything's flooded around here. And then next week, I don't know what's going to happen. It's supposed to be turning cold, so who knows?
And you can't paint when it's bad humidity.
No. Everybody, Tom Dixon keeps telling me, "Oh, go ahead and spray anyway, just the top coat hazes, and then when you put the next one over, it all comes out." Doesn't work like that for me, guys.
No, I don't like doing that.
I don't either. I can't stand doing something. As soon as I do it, I know you need to sand that out. You really do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm so far behind in painting.
I can't get my humidity right in my house to Monaco. It
See you, Phil.
every time.
To Monaco? Oh, come on. Y'all be careful. I'll see you Monday.
Yeah, you too, Phil.
No,
Have a good night.
Take care, guys. I'll see you next Friday.
Hey, take care.
Yeah,
Take it easy, Bart.
You know, let me close the stream. We can continue to talk. Let me just close the stream out. I want to thank everybody for showing up.
Okay.
And it's been great. We actually had out there concurrent. We had like 21 viewers. I think it's the best we've had.
That's awesome.
Maybe we've had 22, but it's pretty good. We had some people on the chat, and we had some good conversations. We started off with the Venturi conversation with Ed, and then we just started rolling. And it was a nice video presentation from Tom Rommel on his King Cobra. So thank you very much. And I want to encourage everybody to like and share and subscribe. And today is Friday, so we'll be back Monday. Go out there and have some fun and come back and tell us all about it. So with that being said, I'm going to close the stream.
Well, you want us to have fun building a snowman or what?
I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to close the stream here. I'm going to end it now.